Hey, we're on live. This is the Movie Busters episode 47. This is the Deadpool Trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
This is the, I guess you could say, our.
Rob has totally lost it.
Yeah. Here goes Rob. He's.
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't Smile 2? Okay.
Smile too.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
We haven't gone to the dentist in a while, so we can't smile. Our teeth look terrible. Anyway, I speak for myself. No, just kidding. Anyway, this is the Deadpool trilogy. This is the finale, I guess you could say, of our X-Men franchise retrospect.
Final.
Yeah, final. Because there won't be an X-Men movie in a while. Well, who knows? Marvel will get your shit together. Anyway, I'm Alex, aka Alex 3.0, aka Fans of the Champs.
World Series champions.
World Series. Yeah. I am waiting for my
rings.
Yeah, my rings.
His rings.
And no, my World Series champion hat. I have my shirt, but it's in my room. I'll get it later, I guess. Anyway,
and Philadelphia may win the Super Bowl.
I doubt it.
God, that'd be great.
I doubt it.
It won't be the Bears, that's for sure.
Nah.
Bears suck.
Of course, I'm joined by Rob, aka from Rob's Nightmares, aka Mr. Michael Myers,
aka Mr. Whoopie Pie,
Mr. Cream Pie.
Probably what I have all over my teeth is that cream.
Yep. Yes, we saw it.
Oh, you did? Oh, good.
We all saw it before the show.
Oh, good.
But there was no video footage of it. So
how did it make you feel?
Yeah, you have to. It made me feel. I don't know.
All warm inside?
No, it made me feel insecure.
Made you feel warm inside and tingly?
Not really. It was kind of vanilla.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, God.
All right. Enough of my cream pies. I'm also joined by Thomas, aka Horror Fan 34, aka Philly Boy, aka Mr. I don't know, Whoopie Pie.
Again,
that's what they say over there.
Yeah, in Philly, right?
On the east side.
Mr. Monster Mania guy, because I was at Monster Mania a few nights ago. So
yes, that's true. You were.
Oh, and then after Kenny introduces himself, then I'll want to do a disclaimer, but
okay.
I'll
Fine, do your stupid disclaimer then.
I'll let Kenny introduce himself.
Fucking stupid disclaimer. Okay.
Yeah. And
all right, yes, we can again coming back to join us, Kenny, aka Mr. Card Productions, aka Deadpool.
Always
Fanboy
a pleasure
1?
to have Kenny on the screen.
Deadpool Fanboy 1. He's got the only Deadpool shirt here.
Yeah.
Kenny is an OG, which means he's been on YouTube before any of us, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well before me and well before any of us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He is the definitive of an OG on YouTube.
He's keeping Mr. Black's videos alive.
Well, he has a lot of his old. Kenny has almost all his older videos too.
Right.
Wait, yeah. When I first saw that, I thought it was him at first. Like, oh, Mr. Black, you're back. Oh, wait.
No. I mean, Kenny has like all his older, when he first started.
Yeah.
But then there was some that he did later that I never got a chance to download.
Yeah.
The A-Team, Prince of Persia. I know there was some others.
Wasn't Prince of Persia one of his last ones? Because that was 2010. That was his last year on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, how's everybody doing since we last were on stream?
It's been great.
Nothing's happened in the world at all since, right?
No.
No,
nothing.
That's
the Dodgers won the World Series. That's what happened. That's the only.
And also a disclaimer, my disclaimer.
Okay,
I just want to say rest in peace to Tony Todd.
That's what I was gonna say too.
Okay,
yeah.
I take that back when I jokingly said stupid disclaimer. I didn't know what you were gonna say.
He was only 69.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would have been 70 on December 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's crazy. It's like someone said it best. It's like never take for granted like not meeting your celebrity guests at conventions and everything because you just never know.
Right.
What
like I know everyone talks about Candyman, and I love him in Candyman,
Yeah.
but I told Alex this. I think one of his best roles was in the Night of the Living Dead remake.
Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead remake, he was great in.
Yeah.
My personal favorite's Enemy Territory because I love him as the Count.
People brought
That's
up
a good one.
People brought up The Rock because he was one of the bad guys in that movie.
He was great in Platoon.
I mean, he's got a huge like track record.
Does.
And in this,
but I mean, it's
I
a
mentioned that The Rock.
I said it's a shame though that
I
people.
need to get that Criterion DVD one day of The
but he
Rock.
was in this one too.
It's a shame though that most people just connect him to Candyman. It's like he's been in a lot of stuff. Like he
was so much more than that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, he made Candyman what it was, but still, he's good in other things.
And he was great in The Crow.
Yeah,
and he did a lot of voice work.
He did. Yeah, he did voice for the Fallen in the Transformers movie.
He did the voice for Venom and like a Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's funny, the thing about Final Destination is that he's only in one scene in that first movie, and yet he's so memorable.
But he's so impactful.
They had him come back. I mean,
in 5, yeah.
But even though he's only in one scene in the first Final Destination, you remember it.
Same with the second one. He's only in that one scene.
And he's got that voice. Even in Final Destination, he's got that Candyman voice.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he does.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah, when he says that, it's creepy.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did film. He did film the Final Destination Bloodlines, AK Part 6. So he's gonna be in it.
Which I'm really interested in, by the way. I can't wait.
Especially since there's rumors that like they might explore his character more than ever. So
I'm just glad we're getting another final. I love that series. I'm glad they're getting another one.
I mean, it's gonna be kind of a big deal because like
the fourth.
Other than
yeah, but
that's a pretty good franchise except for 4. Yeah.
You know why 4 sucked? Because Tony Tyler wasn't in it at all.
I like all the other ones though. I can't say I don't.
Final Destination 3, he wasn't in on screen, but you heard his voice.
His voice, yeah, twice at the beginning and at the very end. Yeah,
he's been in two, and now with this Final Destination Bloodlines, he's been in probably 3 of them, 2 or 3 of them.
It's so weird that they call it Bloodlines because it's like, what other horror movies have that title?
Hellraiser.
There's like Hellraiser. There's Day of the Dead.
Hellraiser Bloodline was that the one that was
Pumpkinhead 2.
Yeah,
was Hellraiser?
That's Blood Wings.
Was that the one?
But there's blood in there.
Was that the 4th one in space? Hellraiser.
Yes.
Yeah, the 4th movie was space. Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, as much as that's not really the best movie in the world, but
it's not bad.
That's like the last Hellraiser film. I actually think is pretty decent.
No,
it's
part 3. That's the last one.
Like the first 3 are the best ones, and then 4 is okay. Then after that, it just went.
Part 3 has like one of the best scenes in the series. When he's
my favorite is the first 3. I like the first 3 a lot.
I love the first.
You like CD Cenobite? Yeah.
The
one CD Cenobite cameras.
And the third one, all the people in the
nightclub. That's another one that I wasn't really that familiar with. I haven't seen
Hellraiser.
A lot of them.
Well, Hellraiser is kind of a hit and miss series because I don't know. Some of them are just more low budget than others, to where it could have done better, but at least Doug Bradley stuck around for most of them. So
up until the newer ones,
yeah,
you get to see young Henry Cavill in one of them.
And Hellworld, yeah.
Well, then I was saying Tony Todd was also in The Rock. That
yes, yeah, and in Witchmaster as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
All right,
guy will always be a legend. So you'll never forget about him through his films, and
that's why you say you never take not meeting the celebrities for granted, because you just never know.
I read he had cancer.
I think I read that he died at his home.
He did.
Yeah.
And some people came out and said that like he canceled one of the conventions back in August for that reason.
I know whatchamacall. I saw whatchamacall's Instagram reel, and she was pretty upset. Virginia Madsen.
Yeah.
She was pretty crushed.
I heard people were coming out and saying like this. Whoever saw him this year at all, he did not look good actually.
It's kind of like with Sid Haig. Like he looked terrible before he
Mm-hmm. Like Chadwick Boseman was the same way too.
Right.
Chadwick kind of kept it secret though.
Sunken in.
Chadwick really did a good job on keeping it secret because nobody knew anything.
Right. Yeah, who would have ever thought it?
Right.
Yeah,
it was probably best that he didn't have it be public.
You know, it was like Sid Haig. Like you could tell, like in 3 from Hell, they even had him do a scene, but man, he looked terrible.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely looks sick.
Yeah,
even Tommy Lister. Well, Tommy Lister kind of in a way didn't look so good. But he went unexpectedly.
Yeah, it sucks, man. We got to realize that these superstars are human too, and like everyone,
yeah, they're not immortal.
Everyone goes the same way, so it's just I guess we all got to walk down that path some days, but it's just when you look at a celebrity, you're always thinking that they're someone special above you, you know, because you watch them on movies and stuff. But really, like I said, they're just like us. They're doing a job, you know.
This is another one of Tony Todd.
Yeah, Tony Todd
was in at least.
Yeah, Hatchet too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was good in that too.
Hatchet too.
That's a series that I have to revisit. I want to revisit that.
Yeah, I have all 4 of them.
I'm not a big fan of those movies.
But we're getting
2 and 3, I like the best actually.
I like the first one. I think the best. You don't like the first one?
No, dude. Honestly,
really?
No, I think a lot of the humor is stupid. To be honest.
Well, it's Adam Green.
I know, and like the 4th one, I really did not like.
Oh, that's the one where it takes place mainly in an airplane.
God, the humor is so fucking stupid in that movie, but that's just me.
Yeah.
That I did like Adam Green, his Frozen was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the humor in Frozen was more subtle.
Yeah, that's he should rain down on the humor a little bit.
Yeah.
There was funny parts in the second Hatchet though.
There was, yeah.
That Leslie Vernon joke was actually that made me laugh. Like that was actually really funny. Like,
wasn't it in the first Hatchet where he rips that lady's head open?
Yeah.
I think the kills were better in the first, but here's the thing: like, I love Danielle Harris. Like, I wish I'd see her in more. Have you seen that one with what's that called? Camp Dread with Eric Roberts.
I heard of it.
I've heard of that. Yeah,
that's actually that's a good one. I had that in my collection this whole time, and I never saw it. Yeah, Danielle Harris, she's got some acting chops when she wants to. Like she's good. I think she's actually underrated as an actress.
Right. Hatchet 2, I think, was the one where he has that incredibly long chainsaw.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think Victor Crowley gets a hold of it.
Yeah.
All right, so
Danielle Harris, yeah, she is great. Yeah, and I think she was also in The Last Boy Scout.
I had a huge crush on her back in like the Roseanne days.
Mm-hmm. I think she was also in the Bruce Willis film, The Last Boy Scout.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
So, all in all, rest in peace, Tony Todd.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Rest in peace.
All right. So, to lighten the mood up, we're getting into Deadpool now.
Yeah,
this has become very depressing.
That's life, isn't it?
Well, just to lighten the mood.
Yes. So in 2016, there was a little movie that came out called Deadpool.
Yeah.
And we saw
we saw
an X-Men
or Steelbook.
Yeah, you got the Steelbook.
Damn it! We need copies in the basement.
Okay. we saw a little bit of this character in X-Men Origins Wolverine. But for years after that, Ryan Reynolds tried his damnedest to make the movie happen. It wasn't gonna happen until, I don't know, you guys remember that test footage of it leaked in 2014 during Comic-Con, and it got a huge positive reaction. It's pretty much the highway scene.
Yeah,
a little snippet of that.
Somewhat different,
but storyboard. It was like an animation kind of storyboard wise, and it was Ryan Reynolds' voice. and I mean, legend has it that L's Ryan himself that leaked it. He sort of kind of has admitted that throughout the years. Like,
That's kind of a
jokingly.
genius move. I mean,
Yeah, because the reaction was extremely positive, and that
Yeah.
gave 20th Century that gave 20th Century Fox the motivation to finally greenlit the movie. And
Did your steelbook have the paper at the back of it, Thomas, or did you take that off?
No, it's taken off.
So it's just regular.
Yeah, I took.
Well, that's really
I don't
good.
keep the paper on there.
How much was that?
Uh,
that was kind of expensive when it first came out.
I think I actually got this when it was on sale. After like a year or so when it was out, I think I got this for like $10.
Yeah, they lowered it to 10 at I think it was Best Buy.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah, it was a Best Buy steelbook.
Yeah.
Well, this movie was directed by Tim Miller, who went on to do Terminator: Dark Fate.
Which is a piece of shit.
In your opinion?
Yeah.
Oh God.
But that's what he directed after this, though.
Everyone's opinion.
That's what he directed after. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's the other big movie. But Kenny, since you're wearing the actual Deadpool T-shirt, like the real fan you are.
He's a bigger fan than us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, I knew that it would be. I thought it would be a theme.
No, sometimes these guys don't wear the proper clothing. Sometimes. Yeah, go ahead, Kenny. What's your thoughts on Deadpool 1 or Deadpool 26?
Do you have any
Are we
posters,
gonna do like the poster and?
or have you not gotten that?
I have not gotten them. My bad.
Oh my God, you're so rusty.
I am so
Oh,
fucking.
so just
Working out all the kinks.
It's
See, it was that fucking cream pie talk.
well, if you would have had a cream pie, it would have worked out.
No, it is.
Right.
I have a snick, but that's.
But you, so you probably don't have it for any of them.
I have it for one right now. My bad.
Alex, I'd cream pie you over here.
So just keep going.
What the fuck did you just say?
Well,
It's a
first
Rob.
off, first off, the opening credits are hilarious.
He just said, "I want to."
The opening credits are hilarious in this. When
There we go.
it's kind
There
of
we
a
go.
freeze frame, but it flows through seeing everything that is happening in mid spin, and then the credits all at some point they start being different words, not in no one's name.
Oh, like
Like directed by an overpaid tool.
yeah, or like produced by some douchebag or whatever.
Yes, and I think each of them, or at least the first two, are like that. And
Yes.
then, so that is probably one of my favorite opening credits of anything I've ever seen. And then I really like that bar he goes to from time to time. I guess it's just a regular bar, but it has that sign that's kind of similar to Xavier's School for the Gifted or Gifted Youngsters. And this is when the first one that has T.J. Miller, who is
Yes.
now a controversial person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
pretty much.
don't think I ever really been a big fan of him. And
He's been funny in some stuff.
Silicon Valley, he was funny in.
Are you talking
Yeah.
about TJ? Oh, TJ Miller.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
he first started, I think, in Cloverfield.
Yeah, that was like one of the first.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, these days he's a dumbass.
Yeah.
Then
He
that
really
was-
turned into a weirdo.
Yeah.
yeah, that's when he first sees Marina Baccarin. What was her name? Vanessa, and they have a great back and forth with each other during that beginning scene, and then he plays that game where he has to throw a ball in, and then he wins this Voltron ring, which takes like 35,000 tickets to get, and then I love it's kind of a montage where it goes through the making love with each other. And then
Making love.
yeah. Then it goes like
That's my favorite part.
for years.
Of course it is.
It's never really explained to how
Of course
long
it
they were
is.
together. But
Well, this is.
so
I'm sorry, Kenny. This is it is a love story, and it was released on Valentine's.
well, I
Valentine's
knew
Day.
that. Yes.
Yeah. So
I have.
I already knew that.
I eat my cream pies while watching that.
Oh, Daddy.
And then then it gets serious when he finally faints because he has cancer.
yeah.
And I was like, oh no, man. And then that's when everything from in his life starts going to crap. Then what what was that man's name he sees at the bar who tells him about making him a superhero?
Yeah. I know.
remember.
I know what character you're talking about. I just forgot the guy's name.
Yes. Then when Wade decides to finally get that done to him, he says, "Don't make the super suit green or animated." Because it pokes fun
Yeah,
at
it pokes
Green
fun at
Lantern.
Green
What are you laughing about?
He's
I'm
still
sorry.
dealing with-
I'm listening to you, Kenny, but I just happened to look up and Thomas is going.
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, I mean,
Because Rob was still talking about cream pie.
Oh, your mind is going green pies.
It's
But
so
it's just
so random. Oh,
when when Wade is in that incubation chamber thing, it's really is disturbing what they do with him when they turn down the air in it where it can't breathe, and then his skin kind of starts sucking in on itself or something.
yeah, that scene is really crazy.
Yeah. Then we get to see him how we are used to seeing him, and this has a lot of great action in it. The music is funny too.
The fuck?
Is I think there's this running gag sometimes where he mentions the band Wham.
yes. George Michael.
Yeah, the band. Yeah, but he says not just Wham. Wham. He has to emphasize it. And then then the song "Don't Call Me Angel"
Yeah, that was
is played during the credits.
That was in the opening. Yeah.
That's a different time.
No. Then that was in the opening credits.
Yeah. And then it's hilarious when he's still trying to make up his suit. He has this white one at first, and then a somewhat red one before he made it out to be what we know it to be. I'm not sure what kind of material this is though, but
Velcro.
that's when we really get to know him what he is. I think there's a poster of this we've also seen where he does this, and then his hands are kind of bloody, and it shows a hole in him.
Yeah, I think that was like the
Alternate.
the red band poster.
Yes. Then that guy who's Francis, what they call him, Ed Screen. He is great. He didn't have a lot of lines, but he had a really good presence.
Who are you talking about?
He was the one who did that to Wade.
Oh, the villain.
Yes, the main villain.
Ajax, right?
Ajax.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing that Wade keeps doing. Where he knows his name is Francis.
Right.
And I liked that scene when he first tries to break out of that hospital or whatever he's in, and then it burns all to the ground.
Sorry, guys. Someone's at the door.
Uh-oh. So a delivery?
Yeah, cream pie delivery, actually.
No, or a stranger.
No, it was the neighbor kids. They wanted to play with.
Oh.
They wanted to play with Logan Aladdin, so.
I that's all I could really think of. I like the I like this one all the way through. This is not the funniest, but it has a lot of hilarious moments. This is also one of the more.
Yeah.
This does have quite a bit of drama in it, but I still think it is well done. I love like you said, that test footage. And then they do that in this in the film, but it's slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
And
I need my Dr. Pepper.
But
where's my Dr. Pepper?
That was just like a snippet. No, that was just a snippet of how the tone was gonna be for the movie.
Yes, right. And I think that's really all I can think of. This is just a great one, and it's certainly a great return for Ryan Reynolds as that character from X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a resurgence.
And then we said Tim Miller. You thought it was Tim Story who is the Fantastic Four director,
Right?
But he was great. I don't know if they've collaborated.
Too many Tims.
With him. Huh?
Too many Tims.
Too many Tims. I don't know if they've collaborated again. But I thought this was a good start for the trilogy.
Yeah.
Right.
That was definitely a great start to it.
Any more thoughts, Kenny?
I can't think of anything else now.
Okay. So, Rob, what are your thoughts on Deadpool
1? This movie was a surprise for me. I thought Ryan Reynolds was perfect. Even in X-Men Origins Wolverine, if they would have done him differently, I think he was actually a good fit as Deadpool. But when he put like the costume on and everything, I'm like, okay, this is really something. And I agree with Kenny, like the whole credits thing where it starts showing these random names and like random things like that. It's like it breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah.
A lot in this, and I'm like, that's kind of his character. So I'm like, okay, they got that, they got that right, and all the cursing, all that stuff is, I just thought it fit. So yeah, like one of the hardest scenes to watch is the whole cancer thing.
Oh yeah, that was insane.
Like it was so there was some kind of like rawness about it, like the way they filmed it. It just looked like, I mean, I could feel it. Like I felt like it hurt just by looking at it, and like all the fight scenes and everything were so well choreographed. Like if you look back on the X-Men films, I think this movie just really showed them up. Like
and all the like the blood shots and.
Yeah,
really well done stuff.
Many could say that the villain, like it was just kind of like a weak villain.
Not really the most memorable villain, yeah.
But I liked him as the villain.
I liked him, and I understood his motivation. I understood like Deadpool's motivation. The whole love story thing I thought worked very well.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt connected, with the characters there. But yeah, like I just feel like Deadpool, like this Deadpool fits in the X-Men universe a lot better. And all the stuff he makes fun of with the superhero landing, like watch this superhero land.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff was really cool. What's her name? Gina
Carano.
Garano? Yeah.
Toronto.
Gina Carano.
Yeah. Wasn't this like her first appearance, like in a movie?
No, she had been acting before that. One of her earliest, I think, was in that film Haywire.
Oh,
Well,
Oh,
this is
yeah,
your first
with,
big movie though.
I thought this was like, because I don't remember seeing her in anything before
That's
this.
kind of funny. I always get Gina Carano mixed in with Gina Gershon for some reason.
Oh yeah, because I mean,
Wow, I don't see how other than the name.
she went to go on being in like the Star Wars thing, and then like,
The Mandalorian, and
yeah, and then she was in Fast and Furious 6.
Mhm.
Oh, was she? Oh yeah, that was 6. That was 6.
Yeah, and so, but no, like honestly, this is a very, very solid flick.
It is.
And for a superhero movie, it's definitely one of the best. So, yeah, I really can't really say much negative about it. It's just I thought it was well done.
Yeah,
And it's just so hard to talk about a film that like everybody knows.
Yeah,
And like, what
and
was
obviously
it's a comedy, so
obviously it was popular, and it obviously was successful because we got sequels. So
Yeah.
right.
So yeah.
Okay, Thomas, go ahead. What's your thoughts on Deadpool?
I got to see this in the theater back on opening weekend, actually.
Oh, me too. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Yep, me too.
Yeah, I got to see this in the theater back in 2016, and I remember like it was one of those things where back in 2015,
8 years.
That's crazy. 8 years ago, this
I
film
can't
came
believe
out.
it's been 8 years.
That
8
is
years?
insane.
Oh,
It's
man.
crazy.
Wow.
I remember 2015, along with this Suicide Squad 2016 and BVS. I remember like all the Comic-Con trailer, like the Red Band trailer for this, and I remember like 2015. That was like my favorite year when it came to like superhero trailers because I saw the BVS trailer for Comic-Con, Suicide Squad for Comic-Con, and this trailer for the Red Band trailer. And I remember like just being blown away. I'm like, oh wow, like they finally got this movie made. Like Deadpool finally has come back to resurgence at their origins. It's like, oh, like I can't wait to see what they do. And this was a big surprise for me. I was blown away. I love this film very much. I love this back in the day when I saw it in the theater, and I rewatched it again for the stream, and it still holds up very well to this day. 8 years later, it really does. The humor still holds up really well. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. He was born to play this character. It suits him very well. I mean, Ryan Reynolds just like has that like snarky like sense of humor, and very quick sense of humor, and it's just really funny. Like there was just when I saw this in the theater, there was a few references that no one ever really got, unless you're a big movie buff. Like there's a point where I think it's the big muscle bound girl. What's her name?
Gina Carano.
Yeah, Gina Carano. Yeah, it's like she had a matchstick in her mouth, and he's like, "Oh, I guess you must be a Cobra fan." And I kind of smiled at that. I'm like, okay, like. I smiled like being a big fan of Cobra with Stallone. I'm like, that's a good reference. I'm like, that gave me a little smile.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, guys, are you gonna leave me here with Jose Canseco over here? Because all
less angry Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
It's like Jose Canseco. I'm like that juiced up steroid. Like, okay, I got a chuckle out of that because Jose Canseco was a steroid user.
Yeah.
And another one that made me chuckle was when he's with what's his name, Colossus, and it's when he's trying to beat up Colossus and he breaks both of his wrists and all that stuff.
It breaks his hand and a foot,
and he's getting dragged away by Colossus, and he looks at the camera and he goes, hey guys, have you seen 127 Hours? Spoiler alert, he starts cutting off his own hand.
Yeah.
Okay, I will admit that made me laugh a lot. I feel like no one ever really.
That whole sequence is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that whole
is
hilariously.
Can we appreciate the look of Colossus? I mean, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how he's supposed to look. X2.
I didn't mind that guy because he was also
Next to
quite tall
But say,
himself.
who played Colossus in this?
and this, okay, because it was a stunt actor and also a different voice actor. It wasn't the same person. The one
And
girl.
I really like the girl who played the teenage
Sonic Warhead.
Sonic Warhead.
Can
Yeah,
you sound like Warhead? You know what I'm
H.
saying?
Warhead.
there's just so many great lines. There's so many great lines in this.
Nagasaki, whatever it's called.
There's so many great lines in this that I can still remember to this day. When
Alien
the
3.
teenage Sonic Warhead goes after
I guess there's the Ripley from Alien 3.
Yeah.
when they're at the end fight, and he goes, "Oh boy, I would." What does he say? I would so pressure into giving prom sex.
Oh no! I so pity the guy pressures her into gay prom sex. There's
Yeah.
something.
And I love the little cartoon animations at the very end when he's like sort of like daydreaming and like that made me laugh. And like I said, and I also really love. I loved as much as I think T.J. Miller is a dumbass nowadays in life because like he was like he was on an Amtrak train and did a bomb threat, and it's like being a dumbass like that. I think he is very entertaining to watch as Weasel.
In this movie, yeah.
Yeah, he has some great lines. You look like the inside of other people's assholes.
Mm-hmm.
And also during that scene when he talked about Alien 3, he held up his phone with the image of the stereo playing a song. I forget what the song is, but it's in reference to a John Cusack 1980s romantic comedy.
Yes.
Oh, Better Off Dead?
Is that what it was? Where you hold
the
up
one where he has the boombox and he's playing the song for the girl he loves.
I think that's or is it Say It or Say It Isn't or
whatever that movie's called.
It's one of them.
Yeah, it's I think it's Say It Isn't or I think that's what it's called. But I know what one you're talking about though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one with the
that was funny.
Yeah, the one with the boombox. Yeah, I know exactly what movie you're talking about.
Yeah, when he wants to get Colossus' attention.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the only few films that John Cusack actually likes in his filmography, which is crazy.
He don't like anything he does.
No, he doesn't, which is crazy. He doesn't like Con Air. He doesn't like Better Off Dead, and so on and so forth. Like
I could kind of understand Con Air, but I bet he liked 1408.
I don't know what he thinks of 1408. Surprisingly enough, I think he might like that one, but I don't know.
But
and like I said, I was saying, and I think Tim Miller did a great job directing the film, and I also really love Leslie Uggams. It was like an old school actress from the 70s.
Oh yeah,
as the blind lady. What's her name?
Blind Al.
Yeah, Leslie Uggams is hilarious. Because like the only thing I really knew Leslie Uggams for back then was her appearances on Hollywood Squares back in the 70s. And it was just really cool to like see her like in a big picture film like many years later, and it's just like her one of her side characters, like one of the best characters in the side characters in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tim Miller did a great job directing the film, and like I said, really nice camera work with all the fight sequences and the slow-mo stuff when he's fighting, and like I said, like Ryan Reynolds, you can just tell had a feel. Like you can just tell that he had a field day with this. They had all they can go all in, be R-rated, and not hold back on anything. And that's what I appreciate. Like Deadpool, like this was a film that like they knew like they had all the creative control in the world. They could do anything they want with it, and Ryan Reynolds can go to town and do whatever he wants with the script and the character, and he did a great job. And it brought to life, it brought to resurgence a character that is very entertaining to watch. And I love the costume of Deadpool in this. I love the swords that he has for weapons, and the fact that they released this on Valentine's Day is just freaking hilarious.
But those are like katanas, I think, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Katana's from the Suicide Squad movie. Yeah.
Kitana?
But, I mean, overall, I mean,
Princess Kitana?
I can't say anything more about Deadpool that hasn't been said before. It's funny, it's entertaining, it's action packed, has a nice group of actors, has a great likable lead in Ryan Reynolds, and has a great soundtrack. It has some nice little Easter eggs, like like breaking the fourth wall moments, like winking.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of that.
hell, a Cobra reference for God's sake, like
Yeah.
that made me smile a lot. So overall, I mean, Deadpool is fantastic, and I love the first Deadpool still to this day.
It's hilarious when Wade is there at that laundromat and he sees Blind Al. That must be before they actually moved. He moved in with her.
Yeah. She gives him advice about the laundry.
The businessman that also told Wade about that procedure. Then when Wade finally gets around to seeing him again, he talks to him against the car, and then he pushes the camera away. I'm not sure what he does.
You don't want to see this.
Yeah, because he hurts him some way.
But yeah, I mean, I can't say nothing more about the first Deadpool that hasn't been said before. It's great.
All right. So,
all right, Alex, how about you?
Yeah, I did see this in theaters, but not opening weekend. I saw the weekend after. And it took me by surprise. I didn't expect much from the movie because I'm not really like a big fan of Ryan Reynolds, to be honest. Like his comedies. But his style fits this character. So it worked for me. And he was funny in the movie. And I did like the story. The love story.
Yeah.
So you guys mentioned the fight scenes. I thought they were good, but I wouldn't say I know Rob was the one that said like they're better than the ones in the X movies. I wouldn't
They're not mind
maybe some of the other X movies, like the later ones, they're better than those, the fight scenes. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. Some of the Wolverine fight scenes in the X movies are
one
epic.
other thing. When you're talking about fourth wall after the end credits, he has that thing where he's kind of referencing.
Oh yeah,
Ferris
Bueller, yeah.
Yeah.
And he even does the whole
Yeah.
I think they're just more well choreographed.
That was hilarious.
Oh, is that what you is that?
I think they're just more choreographed. Wolverine kind of like when Wolverine fights, it's more like berserker stuff. Like, it's not really. I just feel like with Deadpool and his guns and swords and stuff, it's just more choreographed, kind of like.
Right, there's more you could do with it.
Like, especially the third act, like.
I don't know. I just like the.
Because he does twice. He doesn't have his guns, or no, what? Yeah, I think
I like that bit.
So
you talking about when he only has 10 bullets left?
Yeah.
And he's counting down. Like, okay, that bit is great.
Yeah.
Because he's mixing the action and humor really well of Tim Miller. Tim Miller's direction.
And
I think the fight scenes get better with the movies going on, though. I think with the sequels.
Yes. Especially the second one. But the French, the side characters, like I was fine with, like T.J. Miller, Blind Al, and I forgot the guy's name, but the taxi driver.
Yeah,
the Indian taxi driver. He was funny. What was his name?
Joe Pender.
Yeah, like I like the scenes with him and this one. I'll get to the second one, but like this one it worked okay. As like a little kind of like side story a bit.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned Colossus as well. Like the stuff with Colossus was hilarious.
Yeah. And Joe Pender has a great storyline himself, where he's trying to get with the love interest. I forget her name, but he has his romantic rival. I think he said is
he tells him.
Then at some point he has him in the trunk.
Yeah.
And then, funny enough, you know who appears in a deleted scene in the movie? Nathan Fillion.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a deleted scene where he plays a bathroom attendant. And it's like, oh shit, that's Nathan Fillion.
Oh wow. That's
Mhm.
kinda
Yeah,
random.
if you watch the Blu-ray deleted scenes, you'll find that deleted scene with Nathan Fillion.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Because I know Stan Lee makes a cameo in the movie in the strip club.
He does. Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
and actually in it, not a
Yeah.
deleted scene.
And yeah, he makes a cameo in this one. Because that's when he was just making cameo for like not just like MCU, but like anything Marvel.
I mean, and he's not technically in the movie, but he's seen Hugh Jackman appears on a People magazine cover,
Yes, during that
which I think is
credit thing.
hilarious.
Oh, that bit, yeah.
Yeah, that
6
part was hilarious.
He also
6 years
he
from
references Wolverine a couple times.
Oh no, that was Ryan Reynolds, but that does come later. Right.
Yeah. When he's talking to I think this is the beginning of the movie when he's talking to the audience and he's saying, he's like, well, whose balls do I have to fondle with to
Yeah,
get my
yeah.
movie be made? I can't legally say, but it
Wolverine.
rhymes with Wolverine. And I tell you, he's got great big ones down under.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's not that much to say other than some of the weak points. I didn't really care for the villains that much, to be honest.
Yeah.
To
I,
me,
I,
they didn't
I
really
can
stand out.
understand that.
To me, they didn't really stand out.
Yeah, they didn't.
Well, then again, though, the hero, like the Deadpool, was more of the standout star than the villains, which is
Yeah,
fine,
and I will
'cause
say-
it is Deadpool.
And I will say that's most of my issue with when we get to the third one with the villain stuff.
Oh yeah, and Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah.
Oh,
But this one, so sticking to this one, like, yeah, they didn't really stand out to me, to be honest.
Which is fine because it is more Deadpool's movie.
Yeah.
And I was saying that I really like the actor who played the villain.
Yeah, it wasn't like a bad performance or anything like that. It's just like the character himself, like, take him or leave him, to be honest. Yeah, you guys mentioned the procedure, like the surgery, like that was actually really horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying R-rated and everything. They don't hold back on anything.
No, like it's not just the language, and stuff like that. Like, no, it's the violence. Yeah, like both of you get like that's disturbing stuff, and you also get some cartoonish violence in like the highway
Right,
scene.
yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
That always makes me laugh. And the bridge scene, the highway scene, when he's talking to Colossus, and he's got his arms and leg broken,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, Colossus tells him, "Do you have off switch?" Like, yeah, it's right near the prostate, or is that the on switch?
And then what I was going to say was then Colossus, as he drags him away, Wade says, "Dead or alive, you're coming with me."
Yeah,
RoboCop.
yeah. Colossus was like, what, I'm gonna take you to the professor. Like, which one? McAvoy Stewart. These timelines are so confusing. I mean, the way I look at it is like it's part of the X-Men franchise, but it breaks the fourth wall all the time. It kind of like that sort of reminded me a little bit like of Gremlins 2, where that's a sequel, but it breaks the fourth wall a lot. Yeah.
You know, I never really thought about that, but you're right.
Yeah. I mean, you even have a scene in Gremlins 2 with Leonard Moulton, the critic who gave a negative review to Gremlins. He gets attacked by them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Or they
Oh,
stopped
yeah,
or they literally stopped the movie.
Yeah, I remember that part. Yeah.
They literally stopped the movie in that movie. And Hulk Hogan shows up.
I love Gremlins too. I think that's
Yeah.
underrated.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Was it
Gremlins
Critters
2 is
2 or
criminally
Gremlins?
underrated.
Gremlins 2.
where Hulk Hogan appeared.
That was Gremlins 2
Okay.
at the theater.
Yeah, Gremlins 2 is awesome.
Uh-huh. That's why it was reminding me of when I first saw Deadpool.
I almost kind of say I almost like it a little bit better than the first movie.
It depends. Like you
Gremlins.
really,
I guess it
Gremlins
depends on what mood I'm in. Because
It's such a
I like
classic
I like the
first
first one
movie.
more.
like
Yeah.
if you want more of a horror movie,
Like,
yeah,
like-
go with the first one.
Mama,
Go with the first one.
did you drink my other
No,
cup?
this is the old one.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
if you watch if you want to see more of a horror movie, go watch the first Gremlins. If you want a little more a comedy movie,
you know what?
go watch Gremlins 2.
I think it's safe to say like I think I like both for different reasons.
You're right. Yeah.
It's like some days I like the first one better for in terms of horror, but but I love both Gremlins movies so much though. But
well, we're kind of getting away from this now.
Yeah, but I was just saying that's what Deadpool reminded me of a little bit.
Yeah.
that's kind of an interesting
A
comparison.
little bit, yeah. It's just
Yeah.
Deadpool goes times 100
Mhm.
with it. So yeah, but like I do really enjoy this movie. Like even rewatching it after all these years, like it still makes me laugh a lot.
Mm-hmm.
More than the majority of Ryan Reynolds movies, to be honest. Because
Although
to be honest, it's just like the characters he plays in other movies, it's just kind of obnoxious. And some people say that with the Deadpool, but I don't know. There's a charm to him, I think.
Well, I mean, unlike you, I do happen to like Ryan Reynolds.
Unlike you.
I really like what he's been in like Waiting is one of my favorite movies.
I think he's really funny in Waiting. I really liked him in Just Friends.
Just Friends, he's
Yes.
great.
Van Wilder, he's great in.
Van Wilder is like one of his
He
first.
appeals to you guys more. That's
Van Wilder is one of his first breakout roles.
Although he's done a couple things. I mean, even the one he did the proposal with Sandra Bullock, I didn't mind that one either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
And for a romantic comedy, I'm not a big romantic comedy guy. I actually thought that one was okay. Actually,
One I liked recently was that Imaginary Friends one.
I
If
still haven't seen that one.
that was a cute movie. I will admit, I did like.
I liked him in what was that? What, Free Guy?
yes, Free Guy.
Oh yeah, Free
I
Guy.
thought that was
yeah.
actually pretty good.
And
Yeah, if you haven't seen that
Of
Imaginary
course.
Friends
Adam
movie,
Project.
So,
if
of
you haven't
course,
seen that
yeah.
one yet,
These guys are Ryan Reynolds fanboys.
That's a cute
Adam-
movie though. If the Imaginary
then
I haven't
Friends,
seen that
Adam-
one yet.
The Adam Project.
that's a sweet little movie.
Yeah. I heard mixed things, but like, no.
And the
I-
Adam
I-
Project.
Yeah, it's either you like it or you don't. It's I
Is it on
haven't been on the
Peacock?
fence. What's that?
Is it on Peacock?
Don't mention that.
No, but we're
Is it on the
sponsored.
Peacock?
We're sponsored by Peacock. You should. We know. You know.
Yeah,
this,
no one
right?
ever mentioned Peacock. Is that
No. We're sponsored by Peacock, Thomas.
Don't
And
ever
cream
mention
pies.
Peacock because
So is if imaginary friend is that on Peacock?
we know. I don't even know if it is.
It's Paramount. I thought.
Damn it. Never mind. Okay.
Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus. Okay. So yeah, Deadpool. I like it a lot.
Mm.
Awesome.
And yeah, and you, Kenny, you mentioned Wham. Yeah, that the ending, the closing of the film is with
Right.
Wham.
Yeah, doing those almost like animated storyboard kind of thing.
Yes, yeah. The another bit you guys didn't mention the montage when he's trying to look for Francis, and you had
Yeah.
the Deadpool rap theme song,
Uh-huh.
and that
Yeah,
funny and that bit.
that's what I was
Okay,
saying,
there's two
where
bits.
he was going through a montage.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out what costume to wear as well. The two bits that are hilarious in that scene is when he has that guy in the ice rink. It's like, you tell me where he is, or I'll kill you.
Yeah.
And, and eventually he's so like he's got the thing like
Zamboni.
what's it called? That thing, the
What's the thing over Zamboni?
Yeah, he has that, and he's so far away from the guy. Like that's funny. And when he's trying, he's fighting female villains. Like, is it sexist if I hit you harder or less? I don't know.
You're right.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Oh,
And if you didn't know, the name Deadpool is from the bar, the
yes.
game.
Whereas his separate Deadpool.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Kenny?
Thomas was talking about the fight between Gina Carano, I forget her name,
Colossus?
and Colossus.
Yeah.
Then he puts his hand up because some of her clothes went down.
Yeah.
So she fixes that. And
Yeah, he's
then
a total
she
gentleman.
Then she punches him.
Yep.
Sorry.
That was fun. No, that was a funny bit too.
Yeah.
And the one last thing I'll mention, he does. I think it's T.J. Miller's character Weasel. Like he makes a Blade joke.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I first saw it, I was like, haha, Blade, because Ryan Reynolds was in Blade Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
Although I noticed one of those films that Ryan Reynolds would never make fun of.
what, Blade Trinity?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would. That movie's terrible.
I don't think
he
he
would.
I think he doesn't make fun of it because I think he had. I know he had a terrible experience making it because of Wesley Snipes.
He only makes fun of Green Lantern.
It's funny now.
makes fun of
What's
Green
funny,
Lantern.
Wesley Snipes come out and said that that's not even like the whole beef between him and Ryan wasn't even true.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was like all of a
He
sudden
actually
now-
had beef with David Goyer. in
That was
movie.
it. Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
big
because the
deal.
movie is cut. There's so many cuts to that movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, he had issues with the script and all that, but that's different. That's a different.
That
topic
was a big
altogether.
part. Yeah.
We'll get into that when we get to Deadpool Wolverine.
I don't like that movie, but I still think it's kind of funny.
I know, dude. I just can't.
I don't understand why you, Rob, you keep talking about Parker Posey. Do you not like her as an actress or something?
No.
Really?
I don't. Not as an actress. I just don't think she picks the right roles.
Oh, okay.
I did not like her in Blade Trinity. I thought she was definitely miscast in that movie.
Because I know she's great in the other independent low budget films that
She's good in other stuff. She wasn't
Yeah,
good in
no,
Blade
I don't.
Trinity.
I don't mind her. It's just in those kind of films, like I think they picked the wrong person to be that character.
Okay.
I don't think Parker. I don't think she does a good. I found her annoying as hell in Scream 3.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I disagree. I disagree with that. No.
I actually like her in Scream 3. Actually,
I don't know. I thought she was annoying.
Scream stream coming soon eventually.
Yeah,
I would love to do a Scream franchise one day on.
And it's funny. Scream 3 is like one of my favorites.
We're going to.
Yeah.
But
Two
yeah.
is a great one.
I think Scream 3 is the most underrated.
So, final thoughts about Deadpool before we get
Fantastic.
It was good. Yeah.
Any other thing we missed
I
on?
think it's a great start for this.
Okay.
Did
Thomas,
anyone
sorry,
put the stream in their YouTube or Facebook?
I did.
Huh?
I was just wondering because no one is commenting yet.
I put it on my YouTube comment.
Oh, on your community tab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems really difficult sometimes to get that because it has to deal with advanced features.
Oh, you have them now, though, don't you?
Yeah, I do, but it seems kind of tricky to get that community tab sometimes.
Oh, well, I've never had a I just click it and just.
Well, I mean, because it's happened to me sometimes where it doesn't appear there.
All right.
But let's go on.
Stats on Deadpool, Thomas.
Okay, so Deadpool, the budget was $58 million, and it made worldwide $782 million.
Holy moly!
This was the highest grossing at one point, and then Joker overtook that, right?
Oh, rated R movie? Yeah.
R-rated movies, yeah. On IMDb, it gets an 8.0 out of 10, so a solid 8 out of 10.
That's good, yeah.
And on Rotten Tomatoes, should I just give the critic score or the audience score?
Both.
Both.
So the critic score for Rotten Tomatoes is 85%, and the audience score is 90%.
I like that one too. Yeah,
that's pretty accurate.
That's about right.
Yeah.
That pretty much sums it up right there. It's about 90%.
I figured the audience would be bigger or higher than
90% is amazing, though.
That's slightly higher, so that's about right. And I think it was the if I want to look up the 2016.
At least on IMDb, it's one of the higher rated.
I'm actually surprised.
The highest rated film on IMDb is The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. I'm surprised the critic score is that high.
And Deadpool was the 9th highest grossing film in 2016.
Right.
It was in the top 10.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. You mentioned 2016 comic book movies that you see in the trailers were like getting a lot of hype, including this one. I did not think in a million years that this was going to be. Oh, 2016 Civil War came out. Never mind.
Yeah,
was the
Civil
best-
War
that
was 2016.
That was the best
Yeah.
one, but
yeah,
but
Captain
this one was gonna be like one of the better ones.
And
I
and it,
honestly,
and it ended up-
you know what? Here in the beginning of 2016, I'm talking the beginning, the very beginning of 2016. If you told me what's gonna be the better movie, Deadpool or Batman vs Superman, I honestly would have said Batman vs Superman. I'm not joking, dude. As low as predictions I had for that movie, I didn't think Deadpool was gonna be funny because I'm not even writing for no.
At least the
so
Ultimate Edition is.
I was like,
is
Deadpool
better.
was the better movie. I'm sorry, not sorry, but
The Ultimate Edition.
everybody knows my thoughts of Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, the
Well, the
Ultimate.
Go watch the
Edition.
DC, our first DC stream, okay? You want to see that?
Oh God,
the Ultimate
Yeah.
Edition's a lot better.
Yeah.
it is. Yep.
Whatever. Anyway, that was Deadpool 1.
That was the first
Yep.
Deadpool.
Are you ready?
And then 2 years later,
Yeah, 2 years.
we get
Deadpool 2. Electric
I got
Boogaloo.
the DVD and the Blu-ray.
I got this is actually I got the Target exclusive.
Yeah, I got that same.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, 2 years later. That's my line, Thomas. You stole my line. I'm supposed to say that.
It's mine.
Who's the real host of this show?
Who's giving the stats?
I know. Thomas is
Bitch.
the one that actually is prepared.
Who's giving the stats, bitch?
Yeah, I know, right?
That's bitch.
Who won the World Series, bitch? Exactly. Shut up.
Right,
Anyway.
Okay.
Thank God they fucking won. I would have hated to see the Yankees win. I can't
Yeah.
fucking stand the Yankees.
Yeah.
They wanted plenty.
Yeah.
Thank God the Dodgers won. I picked them to win from the very start of the
You bet $100.
I wish I would have bet the Dodgers to win the World Series. I would have won a buttload of
Shit,
money.
I thought it was gonna go
There
7
were the
games.
Yankees back in like, like the 50s or so.
Mhm.
Like that. I thought it was gonna go 7 games. Shit, I didn't give it that easy. Anyway, Deadpool 2. This time was directed by David Leitch. If you're familiar
Yeah.
with him, he directed The Fall Guy recently,
And
Oh,
didn't David Leitch also do
Bullet Train,
Bullet Train? Yeah,
Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde. Yep, that's what I think of.
I know he's done
he's
other stuff.
another really good director.
I think this is his best film that he's directed.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. But can you win first on Deadpool 1? Let Rob go first on Deadpool 2.
All right, Rob, you
Okay. This is my favorite of the Deadpools. I love this one. Saw it in the theater, and when I heard that Josh Brolin was on board, I'm like, I was already hyped because I'm a huge fan of him. But then when I found out he's playing Cable, I'm like, wow. I'm like, they're gonna bring Cable, like the whole X-Force thing.
and the fact they teased that at the very end of the first Deadpool.
Right, and like the whole X-Force thing, I in my mind, I'm like, is it too soon to like announce the X-Force? But I think the way they did it here made it kind of like a joke.
Yeah.
I think that was, I mean, you can't break the fourth wall no more than that. Like, I think that was great, like what they did with that. And to see Cable in real time, because I was a huge, I loved the 90s X-Men cartoon.
Mhm.
And they did a lot of X-Force characters. Cable, was announced there, and like Shatterstar and all those guys. And to see him in live action, I'm like, wow. I'm like, and Josh Brolin, he looks just like Cable. Like, they made him look just like that. And I love the joke references about Thanos. Because
Yeah.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
a busy year for him.
because he played Thanos too. So it's like, I mean, he's really rocking it as Thanos and as Cable.
And then
But,
Sicario.
They came out the 3 weeks apart, by the way. Infinity War and Deadpool 2.
And
like this
Sicario,
movie-
too.
This movie to me is like the first movie, but amped up. Like they really went for the action, the comedy, everything about it is like amped up to 100. They announced a lot. There's like a lot of new characters. There's like Domino, where she's like really lucky all the time. Like I thought they played into that very well. And Ryan Reynolds, I think he's just funnier in this. I like the all the stuff with Colossus, and then there's this kid. I forgot his name. The fat kid that has the firepower. But they're like trying to stop him.
Russell.
Yeah, like I even thought he was funny.
No, man, I find him annoying, to be honest.
Oh, really?
I did not like that kid. No.
You didn't? Oh.
No.
Okay.
That's one of the only like few weak points of the movie for me was that kid.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, it did.
I like the Juggernaut Colossus fight scene because that was a classic.
That was cool, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a classic scene in the cartoon where they would fight, and Juggernaut actually looked like Juggernaut. But
X3.
But like how I said in the first movie, how the action scenes were like really well choreographed. I think they were like I said, amped up in this. Like the whole prison thing where, when Cable goes in there and starts like beating the shit out of people and just, I don't know, just everything is just so good in this. I can watch this like more than I can even watch the first one. And like I said, I love the first one, but this one is it's just great all around. And I kind of feel I like Cable's story about like his daughter, like he has that little teddy bear.
Yeah.
He goes back in time to kill Russell because Russell is actually the cause of everything that happens in the future. So I just think Cable looks great, and the technology that he uses and some of the weapons. Yeah, it's like some of the gadgets. He's almost like a Terminator in a way.
Metal arm, yeah.
But I don't know. Like I feel like Colossus had more to do here. I feel like all the characters had more to do. And then let's not forget what's his name? Is it Peter?
Yes,
Peter.
The regular human.
I thought that whole scene was great when he's like, "My name is Peter." He's like, "Well, you're hired." Like,
because he saw the ad.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this movie just overtakes the first one in many ways, and yeah, I don't know. It's just it's always been a favorite. I did see this in the theater, and I think Dan agreed too. Like this was his favorite. So yeah, well, it's good. It's good, really.
Okay. Any negatives though?
Like Alex mentioned, Russell.
I didn't like Russell. Sorry.
I didn't mind Russell. Russell didn't really. I mean, he didn't really have much to do. I didn't really find that a problem. If I had to say negatives, I guess maybe some of the CGI was, like with Juggernaut, but they kind of made fun of that when he goes big CGI fight coming up. Like, they made fun of that, but like, yeah, I mean, some of the CG was a little bad here and there, but I don't know. Like I think everything was like I said, it was done better from the first movie. Like I just think the jokes were better. Like when he's
definitely the action was better.
What was that Beyonce's joke? He's like Beyonce says, he's like, "Stop cheating on me" or something like.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's way better than the first.
Oh. Blind Al is even funnier in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thomas, your thoughts on Deadpool 2?
Deadpool 2, I'm with Rob on this one. It is my favorite of the three. I love the sequel very much. It's one of my favorite sequels in the last 10 years. I love this movie so much. I think it's way even more funnier than the first one. I thought the first one was really funny, but I think this one is even funnier. Ryan Reynolds is stepped up even more of his game as Deadpool, and I really love the additional characters. Zazie Beetz as Domino, and I think the interactions with him and Colossus in this one were even. I thought they were funny in the first one. I thought they were even more funnier in here. And the addition of Josh Brolin as Cable, because the fact that if you remember in the post-credit scene at the end of the first Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds broke the fourth wall as Deadpool, saying like, "Oh, you're expecting us to make a sequel, but we don't have that kind of money." And He's
Yeah.
like, oh, well, but we might put Cable in here. It could be, you know, Josh Brolin. It could be.
He didn't mention Josh Brolin in that. Ain't good at that.
Oh, he didn't.
He mentioned
he just said Cable.
Mel Gibson.
Oh no, he mentioned Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
He mentioned
I think-
Keira
I think-
Knightley.
I think he said Mel Gibson as well.
He said Keira Knightley.
When he said
Yeah,
Keira
with
Knightley,
the
that gave me a laugh. But I think Josh Brolin, what Rob said, like Josh Brolin looks like the part of Cable, like down to a T. And I think Josh Brolin was such a great addition to the cast. And I will admit, like the fight sequences in this are more, I guess, I wouldn't say like more plentiful, but I think they're better directed. Because I feel like David Leitch was much more of an action director than I say Tim Miller.
Yeah.
Because David Leitch and it proves it because David Leitch had done, has done Bullet Train and like he's definitely more of the action. Like what did David Leitch do before Deadpool 2?
Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde, yeah. And that was a pretty decent film, and the way he directed the action sequences in Atomic Blonde are really well done. So you can see why they got him to do the action department directing.
He also
film.
He also did some uncredited directing in John Wick, the first John Wick.
Oh, that's right. I remember his name being attached to that at point. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I know. I think he might have been somewhere on the features on that. I think.
I mean, that kind of explains why the action's better in here.
Right, because if you get a guy that worked on John Wick for a little bit, it makes a lot of sense. And like I don't know much more. I don't know what I mean, and I'm with Rob. I mean, I know Alex would not agree, but I didn't mind the character of Russell. I thought he was funny. But I could understand why some people might not like him. But
it's the first time I've ever heard that. I've never heard anyone say they didn't like him.
Well, why is he? This is not a spoiler. Anything. Why is he in the next one? Okay,
well, it's a different story though. It's not.
I'm glad he wasn't in it.
Well, that was like the godsend for Alex.
Yes.
Yeah. But I feel like this one just it ups the ante in so many departments, like in the action, the humor, and I Ryan Reynolds is still has is still on point as Deadpool, and I mean I don't know what more I can say about Deadpool 2. I mean. I saw this just like with the first Deadpool. I saw it opening weekend, and the audience experience that I had was such a blast. Like everybody was into the movie, everyone was laughing, and people were clapping at the right times when they were supposed to clap, and it was just a great experience. It was just like the first Deadpool all over again when it came to theater experiences. Like both the audience experiences were great with that movie, and as well as Deadpool Wolverine as well.
Big smile.
Like this film just it made me smile in so many ways, and it was just like wow. It's like I never would have thought they would ever, at least in my opinion, top the first movie, but I think they really did top the first movie in terms of every department. And that's why Deadpool 2 is my personal favorite of the trilogy. It's definitely my favorite Deadpool film, without a doubt. So I'm with Rob on that one. So that's my thoughts on the second Deadpool.
Okay, Kenny.
It's something that none of us have mentioned yet, but the poster says "From the studio that killed Wolverine." Because Logan was before. But yeah, I had seen this recently, and I'm with the two of you. This is my favorite of the three. The humor, I think, was better and more tightly written, and I think I like the fourth wall breaks in this one probably even more than the first one.
I agree with that.
Was excellent as Cable. It's I really like the moments where sometimes his metal arm gets injured and he does some kind of a movement or does something to get it repaired.
Yeah.
And Zazie Beetz was great. They kept having this running joke of luck is not a superpower. But apparently, yes, she
It
kept
is.
saying it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, that's her power. Is she's
Because
Yeah.
lucky.
she's the only X-Force new member that didn't die.
Right. And there was that one that was called Vanisher, and when he is electrocuted holding the wire, and we see it's Brad Pitt.
But yeah, I didn't notice that the first time I
Oh
saw him.
yeah, it's
I didn't
Vanisher.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did not know.
Vanisher. And then there was also
Bill
It was like
Skarsgård.
Bill
Bill
Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
That
Yeah.
It's Shatterstar.
Yeah.
Skarsgård with the that acid spit.
Acid vomit or whatever it was.
Right.
Blood.
And this is Terry Crews.
Mhm.
Terry Crews. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I was forgetting
You-
a name in there somewhere.
You're right. And Peter was great. I really liked his character too. And the music was probably even funnier in this one with how they worked that into it. Russell, I didn't mind, but I kind of agreed. He could have like keep him in or written him out. Either one wasn't that major, but I liked that actor who played him, Russell. I thought the actor himself is really good.
What else was he in?
I really liked the Juggernaut. Now that's how he actually really should look, similar to Colossus.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean, he has to be
X-Men.
CG. He has to be CG because he's so big.
Yeah.
right, and
Yeah.
then what's this? The CGI was. I
I'll be right
thought
back, guys.
even though in some points it was a bit weird, but it was definitely a big step up from the first Deadpool. I really liked it's a long scene when they're fighting in that big long prison truck or whatever, going from
Yes,
one place
yes.
to the other. That was where we get the long fight scene between Deadpool and Cable.
Yeah. And you hear him say, he says a Goonies joke.
Yes,
In that scene, yeah.
mm
You knew that was coming. You know, he's going to say a Thanos joke and he's going to say a Goonies joke.
right. Oh, I like a lot of the dramatic moments with the Cable character when it has to do with his wife and daughter being like burned alive.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, man. I can kind of understand why he wanted to go back in time and do that.
Yeah.
But he wasn't really he's not a bad villain.
Yeah.
He wasn't a bad person.
You think at first, but then you find out his backstory and you're like, oh, you kind of understand why.
Yeah, right.
Why he wants to kill Russell.
Mm-hmm. And then
It's one of those things where, like, okay, if somebody, a bad guy killed somebody you care for, and then the only way you can stop him, you go back in time when they're a kid. It's like,
Okay.
it's one of those dilemmas. Like he was willing to kill Russell as a kid, but like Deadpool's the one that's trying to stop him. Like he hasn't become a villain yet, so there's a way to stop that from happening.
Oh. So another thing that kind of I didn't mind it, but it kind of was a bit almost like what they call it a story convenience where they killed off Vanessa. I was like, oh, I get why they did that because they wanted to push his story forward.
That's one of the things that, like, I'm scratching my head. It's like, and the sequels, I don't think they knew what to do with their character.
No, Tim.
Because you have this one, she gets killed off in the beginning, and yes, at the end they
Mhm.
bring her back. But
Right.
in the third one, you get to that, and I'm like, you guys had really not much going on here.
Yeah, that's the one thing in Deadpool 2 that kind of it was like,
I don't know.
oh, all right, oh, I
Yeah,
kind of get it, but it still could have been done differently, written different.
yeah,
But it was in a way that had to be that was done for him to what was it? She kept saying his heart wasn't in the right place,
hmm
and but then yeah. Oh, this is the one where he uses Cable's time dial thing, and then he
yeah.
goes back in time during the credits and changes and fixes certain things, and mainly in his own
That was funny.
history.
That was funny.
Yes,
When
because
when
then
when he kills fake Deadpool in X Men Origins,
you're right.
was
I think
hilarious.
the first one that he does was he saves Vanessa from being killed.
Yeah, he saves Vanessa and he saves Peter.
Peter,
Yes,
and then
but not the other X Men members. I don't know why.
just Peter.
Yeah.
And oh, and X-Men Origins Wolverine. It uses some when it shows Wolverine's angle, it's actually from the film, but
Yeah.
then when it's a different person when it shows Deadpool shoot
Ugh.
Weapon X.
Yeah, it was like, it's just
And
me. Don't scratch.
right, and then
I mean, he sets up the next one. He's like, "What? I know you're gone now, but like one day you're gonna bring back the claws and we're gonna team up."
yes, and
While
then
he's killing fake Deadpool.
oh, then a moment where it's at Ryan actually sitting in a seat and he's reading looking at the Green Lantern script.
Yeah, and he gets shot.
He
Yeah.
says, "Oh, welcome to the big leagues."
I actually like Green Lantern. I know a lot of people don't, but I actually liked it.
I didn't mind. He
Ryan
wasn't.
Reynolds keeps making fun of it.
I know,
Yeah,
but
he
it's
wasn't a
weird
problem.
because I don't think the movie was really that bad.
Right.
It was
I
actually
actually
it's a
got
very
to see Green Lantern in the theater actually too.
Then
it's actually Green Lantern is
Deadpool.
a very complex character, and it's like I think they actually did good for what they had, but obviously Ryan didn't think it performed well, so
And I didn't perform well.
I know.
That was a flop.
I mean,
It
that was
was.
supposed to be the
Ryan
start.
shoots-
That was supposed to be start the cinematic universe. But
Deadpool shoots at Ryan through the head.
yeah,
You see the hole in his head and the blood splattered on the script.
because
And then
Green
I
Lantern,
think-
because
I
Green
think
Lantern was
even-
supposed to be Ryan's like what? Because he honestly thought it's gonna do his career to how Iron Man did to Robert Downey Jr.'s career. I think he was expecting that, and that didn't happen.
Well, because we've never had. Think about it. We've never had an Iron Man movie, and we never had a Green Lantern movie, so it's kind of a unique character to start with. But
it didn't work out.
you got to think of the casual audience. They're not all gonna, unless you're a superhero fan.
I
I
saw
guess.
Ryan Reynolds again, and like this guy again.
I think it's in. I know it's in that extended cut where
Yeah, I
it
got the extended cut.
Super duper.
It has another scene of Deadpool going back and then decades to a baby Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know if you do this. You're just a baby.
But that was great too.
I also got the extended cut of Green Lantern.
Yeah, but Blind Owl is great too in this. When it was right after Vanessa is killed, and he goes to that apartment that Blind Owl is staying in. You see he gets into the floorboard, and you see there's actually a thing called the cure for blindness under when he gets one of the cocaine bags. He moves the couch out of the way, and then when Blind Owl comes in to sit, he says, "I'm thinking it over." Right as another voice says it, she looks like she thinks she's pointing the gun at Wade, but she's pointed straight ahead and he's to the right. I think that's all I can really think of for Deadpool 2. They stepped everything up in this, really. Like, the story is more tightly written in than Deadpool 1.
Yeah. Okay, that's all.
Yeah, the action is excellent.
Before I start my rant on this movie, no, just kidding.
Very good.
Seriously?
No, I'm just fucking around. Okay.
Wow.
But no, I think
Any other
I think
thoughts?
that's all I can think of. I can't think of any negative. The only thing I said that may have been negative was when they killed Vanessa for some.
Right.
I was like, okay,
All right. And she said some of the CG.
yeah, some of the CGI,
Yeah,
but other than that, it's really.
I didn't mind the fact that they killed Vanessa because that means that the movie has risks. Like if she just lives through everything, it's just.
But they bring
No,
her back.
I understood.
They bring her
that.
back, yeah, but still, like, it gave him kind of like I guess a motivation, I guess.
But
Yeah.
no, I understood that, but I was like that early in
But
the film. I was
my
like,
thing is that they kill her off. They bring her back. That's fine. But
that's it.
what happens in the next movie? It's like they really didn't know what to do with her, though.
Yeah, it felt like it.
Well, the next
So the
movie, it wasn't really about her anyway.
That's
Well.
well, I'll get to that when you get to the third movie. Anyway, the Deadpool 2. Yeah, to me, I kind of go back and forth with this one and the first. Which one I like better? I think it just depends on this depends what time of the day. I don't know. But yes, the action, like for example, like you guys mentioned, the action is better in this one.
Mhm.
I'll give you that. Like no debate there. Not that the action was bad in the first one, but like this one, like okay, you clearly have a director who knows how to do action more. It's more experienced. Sorry, Tim Miller. No offense.
Yeah.
The comedy though is, I think, it's just as funny as the
Yeah.
first one.
Mm.
Like that's why, like when I first saw this, I'm like, okay, it's just as good as the first one. I think I might like this first one a little bit more.
They're all funny in their unique way.
But it is this movie has it's plenty of hilarious bits. When you got cut in half by Juggernaut, and his second half of his body is growing. He's like a little baby. Like that whole bit is funny.
Ripped him apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that's. I mean, you also get this moment in the movie where like Cable explains why he can't just go back to his world.
Yeah.
And then like he explains it, and then Deadpool just looks at the camera like, oh well, that's just lazy writing. Like there's only two ways to go back. It's time travel rules.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a convenient time travel.
Oh yeah, when they're in the apartment and he says,
Yeah. I mean, I already brought up the fact that I didn't like Russell. And you guys, I just
I didn't mind. It's not that I liked him.
I just find the actor annoying, to be honest.
It's not that I liked him. I just didn't. I didn't. It didn't matter. Like I didn't dislike him. It's just.
But that the actor himself is annoying.
Yeah.
Hold on,
the
hold on a
performance was annoying. And like another thing, I didn't really care for having T.J. Miller in the movie again. Like, okay,
Yeah.
he served his purpose.
Point.
He served his purpose in the first one. He was funny, but in this one, I felt like he was one too many characters already.
Yeah.
You could have taken him out of the movie. You also could have taken the taxi driver guy out of the movie too.
Well,
Yeah,
they
okay,
just wanted it. Yeah, but that was just to connect to the first movie. It's like
I know he was funny in the first one, but I didn't care for the character this time around. To be honest,
the problem is when they
many.
bring all these new characters in, and then you have these old characters. It's like you got to have a good balance.
It was just too many. Like I liked some of the new characters better, to be honest.
It didn't make it feel convoluted though.
I liked it's a little too crowded.
You know, like when they brought in the X-Force, I'm like, oh man, this is going to be a lot of characters. But then when they killed them off,
I know.
I mean, that was actually a good idea.
I mean, but they kept the best character out of them, and it was Domino. Like I really liked her character.
Domino's cool. Yeah.
I liked her, and it sucks that she wasn't. She's not in the next one.
You know, that's one of those characters that I don't want to say like underrated, but it's one of those characters that you just don't think about.
Yeah.
Right.
Like from the X-Men in
Mhm.
X-Force. Like it's yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you guys mentioned Josh Brolin as Cable. He was really good in the movie.
Yeah, he was
Um,
intimidating at times.
Yeah, like that was good casting. Because I remember at the time when he got casted, people were like, "Wait a minute, he's playing Thanos. He can't play." At
Yeah.
the same
Well,
time.
In real life, Ryan and Josh are actually really good friends.
Okay,
I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah.
so why wasn't Josh in the?
I was saying that Josh Brolin, he was busy that year. There was this
Avengers, Infinity War.
Avengers, Infinity War, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then Sicario 2.
Sicario.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ryan has like two major friends. He's got Josh and Hugh Jackman. They're both like his really good friends.
Yeah.
Yes. But I don't ever see Josh and Ryan do that funny back and forth banter thing.
Right.
You know?
I mean, this was kind of like some. It's like It's like Josh Brolin was like kind of like Cable was kind of like the straight man of the cast.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that back and forth they had together. How he keeps accusing Cable of being racist. Like, are you racist?
Oh yeah, racist.
I'm not racist, you
Pretty
fucking
rude.
asshole. What he says.
Yeah, it's like Cable was funny even what he wasn't supposed to be. Like
Yeah.
he was like a serious funny, but it's I don't know, it's good.
Like he wasn't black, but Deadpool keeps calling him racist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny. And did you, I also like the every time Deadpool saw Yukio, I was like, "Hi Yukio, bye Yukio." He's
Yes,
super nice.
right.
Yeah.
Mhm. Which is supposed to be
Yeah.
the same Yukio from the Wolverine.
I was wondering that.
I know it's a different interpretation,
A different, yeah.
but it's supposed to be, I guess. the
Yeah,
same
with
character.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Made
Yeah.
her out to be
Yeah,
She had more to do in the first movie.
yeah, that's one thing. I was like, okay, she had more-
Yeah.
but I did like that they kind of kept that like back and forth. Like she still
Yeah.
dislikes him a little bit.
But I mean, Colossus, I'm glad they used him here
Mhm.
a lot more.
Yeah, I mean he's still trying to make Deadpool into an X-Men.
Yeah.
But Deadpool, of course, he plays by his own rules.
That's funny when Deadpool wears the actual uniform
Yeah.
and he's trying to get Russell to stop.
Mhm.
And he's like, it's so funny. Like he just can't. When he hears him talk, he's like, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. This little boy, he's like, I can't. Like,
Yeah.
it's funny.
And then every time he says I'm an X-Man, there's someone else keeps saying trainee.
Well, it's because
Yeah.
Colossus doesn't want him to like go over the policy of being a good person and
He's
like
saying
not
you can't kill.
can't kill, curse, all that stuff. He doesn't like any of that.
And then he did shoot someone.
Yeah. I mean, that's something he tells. He kept telling him in the first one when he killed the villain. He threw up. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
They're like, why?
And I one of the best action scenes was the fight in the jail where Cable first fights Deadpool. Like, I really like that.
Yeah, that action scene's great.
Right.
Uh-huh.
That and the whole car chase after the X Force.
Yeah,
Well,
the
most
whole
of the X Force die.
yeah, when they're in that little the prisoner transport thingies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny mentioned that, and I told him like, that's where you get the Goonies joke,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which is funny. He does call him Thanos later in the movie. It's like, "Sip it, Thanos."
Yeah, that's right.
That's another thing that's like just the Deadpool keeps saying like, "Sip it," and then he gives him a nickname. Like he gave Negasonic Teenage Warhead like the first one he's like, "Sip it, Sinead."
Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah. It's like, "And you," at the first one's like, "And you, nothing compares to you, Sinead O'Connor."
Rest in peace to Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's like I kind of agree with you guys about this one. In some ways, it's better than the first one. But to me, it's like they're almost like at least equally as good.
I can understand that.
She wants
Yeah,
to
yeah.
go with mine.
Like I mean, it makes for a good double feature.
You know, they balance each other
They
out.
do. I think they're in the same level.
Mm.
But I will say yes, the action's better than this one for sure. Like that's one thing that's an improvement. But but to me, it's like okay, it's a little too crowded for my taste. So yeah, some of the CG is a bit not so good in some scenes, even if they make fun of it. And I do without Russell
Mm.
and some of the returning cast members like T.J. Miller. Like you could have cut him out of the movie, to be honest.
Mm.
What you know? What I did like Blind Al in this one too. Like okay, I'm glad she was in all three of them. So
Yes.
so yeah. Other than that, yeah, that was a really funny movie too. Like there's a lot of hilarious parts in the movie.
Mm.
So any other thoughts on Deadpool 2? Electric Boogaloo?
No, not for me.
Every time there's a 2, you think Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, it's yeah, I have to say it. I don't think they make that joke in this movie. They should have.
I'm very surprised they didn't.
It's like it's right there. Come on, Ryan. All right, just kidding. No other thoughts.
Mm.
No, not for me. I've said
'Cause
everything.
Kenny already brought up the
said
end
everything.
credit scene. Which was I remember I was laughing so hard at the end credit scene with the Wolverine bit. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yes,
oh,
yes.
God.
During those.
Even the opening
It's
where you see him blow himself up, he's like fuck Wolverine. He rips off my R rating.
that's
and
yes.
and he gets himself killed off. Like, well, guess what, Wolverine? I'm dying too. You see the middle
Yeah,
finger.
yes, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mentioned that in the Wolverine trilogy.
yeah. Because this came out a year after the Logan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If nothing else, go on. Tell us with the stats.
Okay, so Deadpool 2. Let's see. Deadpool 2 cost $110 million
Mhm.
and it made worldwide total $785 million.
So kind of around the same as the first one.
Pretty much.
Around.
Just a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Rotten Tomatoes, or I'm sorry, IMDb has a 7.6 out of 10.
Mm.
And Rotten Tomatoes, the critic score is at 84%, and the audience score is at 86%.
Okay.
So pretty close. Around.
Pretty close in comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, around the first Deadpool.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not surprising. That's why I feel about 1 and 2.
Evens out.
Even what?
What was that sound?
I have no idea what the hell that was.
Oh, sorry, that was my phone.
You said evens out. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, evens out, right.
Okay, so that was 2018.
Okay, now probably
6 years. 6 years waiting.
Yeah, right. That probably
Waiting. Nice little Ryan Reynolds movie reference there.
That was not my intention.
Now probably
okay.
the weirdest one.
Okay. Yeah, because we all know the history. Disney bought Fox, so there's a lot of changes. Waiting. Like the big question was like, now that Disney owns Deadpool, are they going to keep it R-rated? And yes, they did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Deadpool Wolverine, aka Deadpool 3, this time it was directed by Sean Levy. Is it Levy or Levy, right?
Did Thomas start
I think
with
it's
this
Sean
one?
Levy.
Levy, sorry. Yeah, he directed Free Guy.
Mm.
And he also directed the
Right.
Night of the Museum movies.
Yeah, okay. So
Adam Project.
He also did, I think, Big Fat Liar as well.
So more family-friendly stuff.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
thought.
an odd choice.
And I think Sean Levy also directed Just Married, I think, with Ashton Kutcher.
Okay.
I
I think you're gonna say Just Friends.
Just Friends. I've been mentioning the Adam Project. I
Oh,
think
Sean
that's-
Levy. He did.
Free Guy.
He also did The Internship, I think.
Yes.
Oh, with
Oh, look,
Owen
yeah,
Wilson?
he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm looking up Sean Levy's filmography: Big Fat Liar, Just Married, Cheaper by the Dozen, The Pink Panther, Night at the Museum movie.
Family friendly stuff.
Yeah, he also did Date Night. He did Rob's right, The Internship, like Free Guy, The Adam Project, and he also directed Real Steel with Hugh Jackman.
Real
ironically
Steel,
enough.
yeah.
Honestly, where was Hugh Jackman before?
That was why Sean had a connection with the both of them.
Maybe that's how he got Hugh Jack. That's maybe Hugh Jackman like working with them on Real Steel, so they worked again.
Or if they offer him a shit ton of money.
Could have been both.
Could have been that too.
Yeah. That's usually one of the big reasons why they come back. Yeah, this came out in 2024. That was a long time ago, wasn't it, guys?
Yeah.
Some of us got the Blu-ray already.
And
Wish I did.
that
Okay,
was
so-
in July.
Yeah, Thomas. Yeah, you haven't gone first, right?
Yeah, I have not.
Yeah, go ahead. What's your thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine?
Had a fun time with this film. I didn't see this opening weekend. I saw this probably like a week or so later after it came out. Just because with my job and everything like that, I've just been too busy with work and all that stuff. So I finally had some free time like a week or so after it came out, and finally got a chance to sit down. I actually went to a theater that's actually a little bit closer to me. It's United Artists Theater, which is in the neighborhood like down the street from me. And I didn't think they were playing it there because I hardly ever see movies at that theater, but they happened to be playing it. And it was a pretty quiet little evening because there was only a few people in the theater because it was like, a week or so after, and it's a smaller theater. So, and it was a great time. Deadpool Wolverine, definitely one of my favorite films of the year. I think it's just kind of cool, like seeing like Hugh Jackman in sort of like the yellow jumpsuit for Wolverine, somewhat of a yellow suit, because usually that's what the Wolverine character's costume is usually like without the mask and everything. So it's just kind of cool to see Hugh Jackman sort of look different as the Wolverine character. Yeah, exactly. Just without the mask. And it's just really strange, like seeing like it was just kind of weird, like when I heard like Sean Levy.
Hey.
There it is.
Yes.
It was just kind of funny, like to see that a guy like Sean Levy directed this film.
Oh, God, I'll be right back.
Like what Alex said, like more family friendly director, like Big Fat Liar, Night at the Museum, Date Night, or Real Steel, or even like things like Free Guy and Cheaper by the Dozen. Like it was just really strange to see like a guy that like a family friendly director would choose, or they would choose him to do a big budgeted, R-rated comic book movie like Deadpool. But I thought he did a great job directing the film. Although I still think the best directed film was definitely still David Leitch for Deadpool 2, because I think he's more in terms of the action department. Right. And Sean Levy's kind of more of the comedic director than the action director. So you can definitely tell like with a lot of the comedic senses in this film. The comedy was definitely on par with the first two. I think the chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman was just fantastic together. And what was also really great is just seeing like all of the glorified like cameos from like other Marvel films. Like especially me and Alex were showing me a clip just earlier or like late last night. He was showing me when he was watching it fresh for the stream. He was showing me the clip of Wesley Snipes as Blade.
Yeah, he showed me that too.
And it's just like, I think that's what makes. It was just cool to like see all of like. Still to this day, I still can't see anyone else playing the Blade character except for Wesley Snipes.
Me neither.
Wesley Snipes is Blade. And
That's true.
You know, it was really cool to see as well come back into this, and I was like, I like when I saw him for the first time, I just got like this big smile on my face was seeing Aaron Stanford as Pyro.
Yeah.
And seeing Pyro again since because we haven't seen him since X2 and The Last Stand. It was just like seeing like wow, like they actually got Aaron Stanford to come back as Pyro. That is freaking awesome. Like that right. I mean that right there, like just. And I will admit though, it was also cool to see all the glorified cameos. Like you saw Chris Evans as the Human Torch.
That really surprised me.
Yeah, it was surprising how they wrote that.
Yeah. Hell! Now with this film, I really hope we get to see Channing Tatum's Gambit movie.
You know who was supposed to be there, but they couldn't get him.
Who's that?
Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider.
Yes.
Oh wow! Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they reached out to him. I guess they reached out, but I guess he was busy with something else. But he wanted Ghost Rider in there.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I read about that. Yes.
Huh?
Yeah,
see, I did not know that part. Actually,
I love Ghost Rider. Cool. Like that's a movie that I love when it comes to non-Marvel movies. Like I love Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
like Ghost Rider's underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only the first one.
Yeah, the first one. I'm talking about the first one. Yeah.
And you know, it was also really great to see as well in this because he hasn't been seen since X-Men 1, and that was Tyler Mane as Sabretooth.
What did I miss?
I was just talking about like my favorite thing about Deadpool Wolverine. It was just seeing all of the glorified like cameos.
Okay, so
all the other
cameos already.
We were just talking about how me and you showed the clip to me and Rob last night of Blade.
The best cameo.
Well,
that is the best cameo in the whole movie.
I was telling Thomas they were supposed to get Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah,
that would have been really cool though.
That would have been cool.
And I think they tried to get Ben Affleck as well, but
yeah, Daredevil, yeah,
it's Daredevil, yeah.
Yep.
And Alex, what you also missed, Alex, I was just talking about like it was cool to see. I was telling Rob and Kenny, I was telling them that when this guy showed up, I got like the biggest smile on my face. You know who it was?
Henry Cavill.
Aaron Stanford is Pyro.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because that made me smile. It was really cool to see Tyler Mane as Sabretooth again.
Yeah, I did have a smile on my face though. I did have a smile on my face for Cavill though. That was cool.
Yeah, that will admit the Henry Cavill one. And you realize too, like some of the voice actors or some of the voices that you hear Matthew McConaughey's voice.
Yeah.
The thing is, Cavill pulls off a good Wolverine. It's just he's too tall. You know, like it seems like he's too tall.
So
you saw in the movie. You see how a short Wolverine would look like.
Yeah, well, that's what sure.
That was one of the funniest bits of the movie.
It was, yeah.
The short Wolverine.
And you also get to see the return of Laura, aka X-23 from Logan in there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I mean, I'm not the biggest Jennifer Garner fan in Elektra, but it was nice to see her at least in there, I will admit.
I liked Elektra in Daredevil. I didn't care for the Elektra movie, but her in Daredevil was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it was just nice to see her in there again because I do like Jennifer Garner.
Especially in the director's cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Daredevil director's cut, yeah.
And I was also talking about like how it was kind of cool to see Chris Evans as Human Torch.
Yeah, that bit surprised me.
Yeah, that was
Steve Rogers, oh, wow. right? Steve Rogers, not Steve.
Wow, it's like
that's
And I was also telling Rob and Kenny, I was telling them like now that we got to see this guy, I would really like to see Channing Tatum in a Gambit movie.
Mm-hmm.
I really would.
Yeah, I mean he wants to be the character so bad, so.
And I think you might have.
He didn't get to make the movie he was trying to do.
I think you might have missed this part too, Alex. I was also talking about like how it was just kind of strange to see a guy like Sean Levy direct this kind of movie. Because Sean Levy's kind of more of like the family-friendly guy, like Night at the Museum, Big Fat Liar.
That's because I guess he had a good relationship working with Ryan Reynolds and Free Guy.
Well, let me.
But I never would have thought in a million years that he would be offered to direct a Deadpool movie, though.
And David Leitch was busy making Fall Guy.
Let me ask you this: this Channing Tatum Gambit, or the one from Origins?
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum,
Yeah.
easily a Channing Tatum Gambit.
I still like Taylor Kish though.
Yeah, Taylor Kish is not a bad actor either, but I much prefer to see
Watch Battleship.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Well, Taylor Kitsch's career didn't go well, did it? I was trying to look for a Battleship joke, but I can't come on. His career sunk like Battleship.
Oh, you
Oh yeah.
Battleship.
There's also in Snakes on a Plane.
Taylor Kitsch was?
Yeah, Taylor Kish.
I don't remember him in that movie.
He's one of the passengers with that girl.
I don't remember.
In the bathroom?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Him and that
Okay.
girl in the bathroom, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I remember.
Right, good.
and so many and I can like since this movie is really fresh in my mind because I just saw it this year. So many great lines of dialogue I remember. You got that poor kid Johnny killed. Poor kid, he's like 50.
Yeah.
He died of murder, you dumb fuck. Suck it, Fox. I'm going to Disneyland. I didn't know my daddy, but I sure as shit shot. But I sure as shit shot out of his dick ready. From behind you, you look a little bit like Henry. Oh my fuck, the Calverine.
Yeah. We would treat you so much better than those fuck sticks down the street.
Oh yeah, that was a shot.
How long does it take for you to regenerate? Regenerate?
Oh, the nice pole.
Nice pull.
And he says, regenerate? You
Some
really are
motherfuckers
God's
still
perfect idiot.
Some motherfuckers still try to ice skate uphill.
Yeah.
Right.
Motherfucker, I wish I could say you'll die a limb, but it's one of God's best jokes that you can't die. Except that's on all of us. You got nothing to say, mouth? I'm gonna fight you.
You're reading it off IMDb or something, aren't you?
No, I'm actually reading it. Like I couldn't remember someone once. I'm reading a thing on Reddit.
That whole bit where the Wolverine he's yelling at him. It's like when he says you are absolutely the worst person. He's the most obnoxious person I've ever met, and that's saying a lot. I've been alive over 200 years, and you couldn't even save your relationship with the goddamn stripper.
When I want your opinion, I'll take Wolverine's dick out of your mouth.
And then he says like, "Oh, you got nothing to say, mouth." Yeah.
Did you hear that line of dialogue that I just said?
What did you say?
When I want your opinion, I'll take Wolverine's dick out of your mouth.
Yeah,
right.
Kidpool says that. Wait, that's Kidpool. He's the dirtiest one yet.
Mm-hmm.
I can gently tap the fourth. Yeah. I can gently tap the fourth wall too. The proposal.
You know what? That joke, I think it would have been funny if we said waiting. But the proposal,
now that you say that, yeah,
because it was like he waits and he's waiting. And there's a pause. But he said the proposal because that's the more popular movie.
Well, he said it like he was in the proposal. He acted like he was.
People would know the proposal more. Obviously, that was
He's kind of like that romantic, like
known movie.
Yeah. I will admit that another line of dialogue that like I did not see coming that maybe like almost spit out my drink. I have a black belt in Karen.
You what?
Oh yeah,
I have a black belt in Karen.
Oh, black, right.
I will admit I did not see that line coming. I nearly spat out my drink when I heard that line. Yeah, I did not expect that line to come out. Like that was hilarious.
What was that? What scene was that?
He finds out the get TVA guys' intention to.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Right, like early in the before even Wolverine's introduced.
Yes.
Daredevil died. It's okay.
See, I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah.
like I said, so many like lines of dialogue. Like it was just really fun to see Deadpool on the screen again after like 6 years. Maybe because like it was such a fun time for me because it was just great seeing like after 6 years of no Deadpool, and it was great to see him and Hugh Jackman together on screen together.
Yeah.
And in a way, and like in a way, it was like a really fun. It's a fun road trip movie too.
Right, no driving.
It's a good buddy movie.
Yeah,
It's probably one of my favorite buddy movies I've seen in quite a long time because I think the chemistry between these two guys is fantastic.
there's a lot of walking.
But but overall, I mean, Deadpool Wolverine. I mean, I can't say much more about this. I love this film very much, and it's definitely one of my favorite movies of the year. So that's what I gotta say.
Okay.
Me?
Kenny, go ahead.
I agree with Thomas. Yeah, I think this is one of my favorite of the year. There was some story things that kind of didn't really make sense. It's like what you were talking about, Vanessa, where all of a sudden they split,
Yeah,
and then
that makes
one of the
whole, that makes him missing her and then bring her back kind of underwhelming now.
yes, right. Then one of the X-Force people, Shatterstar, somehow comes back. When I thought he was chopped in completely.
Oh, does he come back?
Yeah,
What part was that?
it was in that scene where I think they're celebrating his Wade's birthday.
Oh, Peter was there.
Peter there too. Yes. Oh, and then
There's also
during
some
the
people who are missing.
if I know the Deadpools, then Peter comes up and he's wearing a Deadpool suit as well.
Yeah.
It's like every universe has a Peter.
Yeah.
And then what else? I was saying Vanessa. Also was kind of I understood why they kind of got the story going where since Logan he died in the film Logan, it was destroying the timeline, I guess. But then when he goes to that TVA, then he said he's told about this anchor being, in which I was like, where did this come from? It's just certain things in the story didn't really make much sense.
Well, I guess they want to make Wolverine's role matter more than just
Yes.
a glorified cameo or whatever. Even though it wasn't, it was a big role.
Then we didn't mention it, but when he escapes from that TVA room, he goes to the gravesite of Logan and digs up the metal bones.
Yeah, that was the opening scene of the movie.
And then he uses those as weapons.
Yeah.
And then that was where they have that Backstreet Boys song.
In sync.
Huh?
In sync.
In sync, sorry. But in sync, but
Which is funny because that song was an X-Men too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the person who was actually dancing was not Ryan, that was some other person.
It was another guy. Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was Ryan.
That was great. And then one moment that Deadpool he puts those claws on, and then he puts them up other two TVA agents, and he hurts both one of them. He puts claws into one of their butt, then the other one in the middle. Then he tries to pull it out, and he hurts him more and more.
Yeah.
And I love the montage of him trying to find Wolverine, because there's a whole bunch of different ones. Like one where he's on this X cross. It looked like he was being crucified. Then there was this one in an alley.
That a lot of those were from like the one in the alley. I think is from the future X 2099 or something like that.
2099. Wow.
Yeah.
And then there was one that looked like James Bond.
Yeah.
Eye patch.
With an eye patch.
Yep.
Then there was the Wolverine. That was funny. Then
The little Wolverine.
the itty bitty Wolverine. Is there any?
I don't know why they bothered with the Hulk one because
That one, yeah.
Oh, the Hulk versus Wolverine. Yeah, that was great.
the original brown suit. Yeah.
Yes, that was it. That whole montage was hilarious. And then he ends up getting to the Wolverine that we actually see in the film. Then when he gets him to the TVA, what? Oh God, I had his name, but now I forget what's his name who tells him that this Wolverine is the worst Wolverine.
You talking about the villain of the movie, the bad guy?
Yeah, it's like a villain. He was
The British guy.
he says this is the worst Wolverine that you could have ever gotten. Any other would have been acceptable, but not this one.
Oh, the other ones were killing him.
Yeah, because he said this Wolverine let down his entire world.
Yes.
And then they both go back to that. What was the word they were both somehow sent back to? I can't remember what that word is. And it has a 20th Century Fox big rock logo.
Are you talking about the Mad Max?
He's the Void.
Void,
Yeah, that. Yes. But it was hilarious when they had the 20th Century Fox big rock logo there. I didn't think it would actually be there. I thought that was only for marketing.
No, it was actually there.
And
Okay, the bad guy's name is Mr. Paradox.
Paradox, that's it.
Paradox,
Yes.
yeah.
And there was action in this that I thought was really well done too.
Yeah, the action was great.
Mostly between them, but that still was very well done with their different fights. Because each time they would fight, it was always different. And I think in that first scene, that was when Thomas was saying of Tamerlane. That's the first time he appears as Sabretooth. But what I was saying was that scene was very quick because Wolverine cuts his neck and then his head falls off. Then I think that's when we see Chris Evans.
Yeah.
But even I probably was thinking that it would have been Captain America, but it was subverted expectations being Human Torch.
Yeah.
But a very foul-mouthed Human Torch. And then I really liked Pyro, Aaron Stanford also. He was great.
It was just great to see him again.
I know you were talking about him, but I never realized that you were that big of a fan of him.
It's because of The Hills Have Eyes. That's why.
Exactly.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's the reason why.
Well, he was good in that.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was also kind of funny when Johnny tried to shoot his fire at Pyro, not realizing that Pyro also had
I've seen a lot of people complain about that. I don't know what you guys' thoughts.
a what?
I've seen a lot of comic book purists complain about that.
Oh, when he took his
He shouldn't be able to do that. But
his fire.
Yeah, he absorbs fire. Why?
I know.
Would...
I think maybe because it's I don't know why they're complaining about that. I see.
Once that happened,
I don't have a problem with that, by the way.
Pyro can manipulate fire. I don't know what they're.
Maybe because he's supernova fire.
Oh,
Is that it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Then
It's not just
after-
any other.
Seems like a stupid thing to complain about. I
I
don't know.
don't know if I seen some people come out with that.
After Pyro does that, Johnny's in the sky. Then he falls down.
That would've
Then he
killed him.
lands onto this pole
That would
thing.
have killed him.
Yeah, I was surprised that when he landed down, it didn't actually really kill him.
Yeah,
I mean-
because the only way he can survive is if he's on fire.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, wouldn't they kill him? He seemed
Mhm.
okay after that.
Yeah.
Then then the three of them get into this ball prison thing.
Mhm.
Then that was where we hear of Johnny talking about what's that girl villain's name?
Cassandra Nova.
Cassandra Nova, yes. And then he starts just spouting out that stuff that that incriminates him later on. Because he
Yeah.
said, I never said anything like that. Because
We
when
don't. It's a funny thing. We don't see him say that. in the
right,
moment. You're thinking
you kind of
Deadpool.
hear it, but it not fully.
Uh-huh. I mean, we
Then
find out the truth at the end of the end
Then they-
credits.
Then they get to that layer, which is somehow a big body of Ant-Man,
Yeah.
which was kind of weird.
Mhm.
Then Cassandra Nova takes Johnny's skin off.
Yeah.
Ta! Isn't wasn't that gross? Do any of you remember that?
Yeah, I mean, it was CG, so it didn't really gross me out.
I
Yeah.
know it's
I've seen worse.
Just, ugh. Just imagine that.
It would have been worse if it was Art the Clown doing it, right? Right?
Yeah.
Imagine that if that could actually happen. And then Deadpool does this thing, gasp.
Yeah.
And that was when his body crumbles down. That's when Wolverine says, "You stupid son of a bitch! You just got fucking killed." And hey, we're all grieving.
Mhm. No, he said he's like, did you realize what he's doing to the budget?
Yes,
He had
yes.
to go now.
It's like, hey, we are all grieving.
Yeah.
And then I love. Oh, Cassandra has a weird ability where she could put her hands into people's heads.
That was ugh. That was gross.
Uh,
Fingers coming through the brain and the nose like that.
right. I was like, no.
Yeah,
Anything
it's cool.
Anything that has to do with fingers sticking in noses, I can't stand that.
It's
Right.
cool that she was Xavier's sister.
Yes,
Yeah, twin sister.
but I never knew Charles having that kind of ability.
He does. She explains in it that he can manipulate the mind, but she has to actually touch the mind.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that, but I
Yeah,
never see Charles actually do that kind of thing.
No, he doesn't have to.
He's more powerful. That's why.
Charles can enter the mind without having to touch.
Yes, right.
And they're both bald.
And then there's this big black cloud thing coming. Then the two of them, Wolverine and Deadpool Wolverine,
Yeah.
they escape that by
Well, a lot of people won't get that reference if they haven't seen Loki.
yes, right. And
Yeah.
but then they get strapped to this rocket or jetpack thing, which almost looked like it was a reference to James Bond.
Yeah.
Then when they get over to the other side, that's when we get a little more dialogue about what they're needing, what the goal is and what they're needing to do. Then that's when Wolverine, I think he says, yeah, the kid killed. Kid, he's like 50 years old. Then I think that's when we first see Nice Pole. And but that dog first comes up, that dog pole. And I think that was that dog is
Thomas, where's your dog?
it lives in England.
Where's my dog?
Yeah.
It lives in England, and
He's
it was
he's
it was
laying over.
called the ugliest-
He's laying on the end of my bed.
It was called the ugliest dog in the world. Yes, that.
Oh,
It's like, how is that the ugliest dog in the world?
Because
I
of the
didn't-
tongue. Because
I didn't.
people find like pugs and like dogs like that stick their tongue. They're not ugly.
I was like, how? I didn't think it was that bad. And
Maybe
It-
not.
it-
Okay, the ugliest dog in the world is a little too mean, but like
I think
you
there's.
need to understand like most people find dogs that are like this not cute.
Well, I can understand that.
Yeah,
You know, it's. I think there's two scenes when Deadpool, the one we know, he holds the dog and it licks him all over.
yeah.
yeah. But in case you're wondering, my
Oh,
dog's laying on
no,
the end
three
of the bed.
scenes. It happens 3 times. Then they, Deadpool, Wolverine, they go to this. Looked like some kind of art mobile restaurant or something, RV restaurant. And that is a great scene itself too, where I think Wolverine he's gonna drink some kind of an alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and then he
Yeah.
said, "No, don't do that. This or that. Oh, okay, fuck that liver."
Yeah. Did you have any issue with the movie? Ken?
I was saying, I think the only
Vanessa,
ones
the
I had
Vanessa stuff, right? That you said
I
the
was
Vanessa
at
thing
the
broken up.
beginning where it was kind of didn't really make much sense, like what they were doing with Vanessa.
Yeah,
Like you said, it was like they didn't really know what to do with her character.
yeah, they didn't.
I was like, and just certain things, and mostly in the beginning, that didn't really make much sense.
Mhm.
But once it got past that, then it all came together. But it was like I guess they had to do those few things to get the story going. But it made it kind of, it was almost a bit incoherent when they were doing that, how they wrote the beginning.
Mhm.
But I moved on from that. Blind Owl was great too. She didn't have a whole lot of scenes in this one.
Yeah, all those Deadpool side characters from the first movies, they're barely in the movie.
Right. Oh, was it? I really like the scenes. The scene when what was it? What was her name again? The villain is
Sandra Nova.
Sandra Nova.
Sandra Nova. I'm sorry. Yeah, she puts her finger into Wolverine's forehead.
Oh. Look, you see how excited Thomas got when you said,
Oh, no, I'm watching the Eagles game.
"Yeah, yeah, right."
Oh, but we see in his mind that he.
No, I believe you're watching the game. I'm just saying that you got excited when Kenny said she put her finger in.
I know someone did though.
Well,
You.
shoot.
Oh yeah.
Then
Touchdown.
it was in a scene where we see all these really big tombstones, and apparently they're all different Wolverines. I think. There's
Is
a
that
whole
what?
bunch
Okay,
of
when she's in his mind and Wolverine's mind,
Yes. I think
it looked
they're
like the
all-
thing.
I think
look
they're
like this-
all. I think it was
No.
all different Wolverines.
They look like the spaceships from Days of Future Past, where the Sentinels were. That's what they look
Yeah.
like.
Well,
Yeah.
it could have been.
Same design.
And then I like the cameos were all a lot of fun too. Like one of them I already said, Chris Evans.
Yeah,
And
That was probably the most surprising cameo was the Human Torch.
that was not the most.
Mhm.
Well, no, the fact that he was Human Torch, that was the.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
By the most
that
surprising
subverted
one.
expectations.
I
I'll
thought
tell you
it
what-
was going to be Captain America, but
Mhm.
Mhm.
I didn't expect him to be, Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four movie, though.
Right.
I actually really liked seeing Jennifer Garner. I know, I liked her in Daredevil, but I've seen her in other films, and she's a really good actress.
Yeah, she is.
Although I never did watch the show Alias, though.
But yeah, she is. I really enjoyed seeing her.
She's really good in that movie, Peppermint.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
going to
yeah,
say that
that's
I liked her Peppermint more than.
I would say that was sort of like a female Death Wish.
Yeah.
and and Wesley Snipes' Blade, he looked a lot skinnier than
The one and only
Boy,
Blade.
dude,
Only ever gonna be one Blade.
fucking
be
love that.
Well, yeah, because now I think this recent, I guess, reboot Blade
Yeah,
been
No,
canceled.
that's just
that's
been
dead in the
in the
water.
air. Then it's been on, and then it's been
I
off.
know.
That's not gonna happen.
I know at one point John Boyega was going to be Blade.
No, it's always gonna be Mahershala Ali.
No, I thought
It
like
was always
I thought before they casted him, they were
No.
considering John Boyega.
It's
I
just
don't
they
recall
can't seem to get a story.
That's like the easiest story in Blade.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a vampire.
Right. Was like the other three weren't that complicated anyway, as well.
It's crazy. It was 20 years since we last saw him as Blade.
Right. Yeah. And but Channing Tatum was fantastic. I thought as Gambit,
Yeah.
and it wasn't mentioned. I really liked the French accent he was using.
It was definitely more over the top.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't really probably think about it or realize he's French Canadian,
Yeah,
certainly Canadian.
get that fake accent.
And I love the scene where they're all fighting the different Deadpools, and then that's the first time when Wolverine puts the mask on. I remember, I know some people were really worried about how that would actually look, but I thought that was great.
Mhm.
And I like the scene where I think they're trying to stop Cassandra from destroying the timeline. They're in that machine thing, and Deadpool is holding one thing of wires. Wolverine has his claws in another, and they're both being electrocuted at the same time. Because then Paradox thought that would actually kill the both of them, but somehow they survived.
Power of love.
Yeah, I love the moments when how Deadpool would tell Wolverine that he's the X-Man, and he was probably the biggest fan of that Wolverine than yes, not any other, but they're a big fan of that Wolverine. And then at the end, Wolverine finally understands how important he is. So I think that's all I can really think of. That's all.
Okay. First, Rob.
Well,
I think Rob already went.
I think Kenny already went through everything. I really like this film. I think it's one of the best films of the year so far. One of the best. But I do feel like there's some problems with the story. Like I felt like the story was kind of weak in this one, compared to the others.
I agree.
Right.
Like I felt like the whole TVA thing, and like he has to save his world, so he's got to go recruit Wolverine to help him. It just kind of seemed too simple. I didn't really feel like there was any risk or any like, oh, if he doesn't do this, it's going to be bad. I didn't feel that like that. I just felt like, I will say, the cameos. If it weren't for the cameos, I think this movie probably wouldn't have done so well. I feel like maybe it would have. I don't know. I feel like the cameo, the nostalgia, and all that stuff kind of uplifted it. And if it wasn't for Hugh Jackman being in it, I hope they would have done something different, because it kind of felt like a buddy cop movie in a way. But I feel like most of the people went to go see Hugh Jackman because that was kind of like the whole point of him returning after Logan.
Yeah.
But I do love how they waited to put the mask on him at the almost the end.
Mhm.
Kind of a build up. I do like his outfit, the yellow and blue. I
I
just
thought it was black, but
No, it's
Huh?
yellow. It's
I
yellow.
thought it was black. Dark blue, maybe.
his if you look at his where his claws are and like some of the other parts of his body, I think that's blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's his mask that is black.
Yeah, his mask, the ears are black.
Sorry.
But I even Deadpool's costume has changed as well. It's not so dark; it's more red,
Yeah.
which I was fine with. So like, yeah, just certain aspects of the story, and I kind of wish the Sabretooth fight was a little bit longer because I understand it was a joke, but I kind of wish they would have. It was cool to see Tyler Mane.
Cut his head.
I mean, the other cameos got to do some fighting and stuff, so I kind of wish that.
Yeah.
Kind of wish they would have done that, but whatever. So, like, all in all, I thought this movie was. I think the best way to say to describe it was entertaining.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was entertaining.
entertaining.
Like the blood, the cursing. I mean, there was not. I mean, Wolverine was just f-bombing more than even Deadpool.
Yeah, it seemed like that sometimes.
Right.
And like the fight scenes were just fun, and they were, it was a lot of. I wouldn't say there was hardly any bad CG. I mean, I guess maybe a few spots, but really nothing compared to Deadpool 2 as far as CG. I think the best shot and the best part by far is when they're teaming up against all the Deadpools. I think that's like one of the best shots I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that part.
Like the one take shot or whatever. So like, yeah, I don't know. I think I like this one a little tiny bit more than the first movie because of the nostalgia, because I just love seeing the cameos. But honestly, I think the first movie had a better story, and I think maybe the use of some of the characters were better in the first. But it's definitely fun. I gotta say, I had a big smile on my face when they first announced this with Hugh Jackman. Like, I'm like, wow, like I can't believe they're actually.
Oh yeah, but it looked almost kind of like a joke.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's like Ryan kept going on and on about it, and then Hugh, they made that video together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They made it official, and I'm like, what?
I mean,
Like, no
yeah.
way.
I mean, like, it wasn't the Wolverine from the other movie. It was a different.
Right, it was a variant, but what
That's the only way to do it.
Hugh Jackman is Hugh Jackman,
Yeah.
and it's like I just seeing him as Wolverine. Period is just yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was another video they did together where they were going to explain how Wolverine is back, but then instead of hearing them talk, they put that music over it.
Well, the fact that he is a variant. I mean, Hugh Jackman has stated that Logan is very special to him.
Mm-hmm.
And Logan was kind of a send off, and it's like bringing that Logan back would be dumb.
Yeah.
So the way they did it with this multiverse thing, that made more sense. So I'm kind of glad they did it this way.
Yeah, and they didn't like retcon Logan.
And I will say, like the beginning of this film, like the intro is like probably one of the greatest intros I've ever seen. With him dancing to Bye Bye Bye, and then also taking everyone out with this Wolverine skeleton.
Yeah, earlier Kenny said it was Backstreet Boys. Like, no, it's insane.
Oh, God. It's been a while since.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Around that era, I remember when NSYNC and Backstreet were both coming out with records. They were kind of competing, so it's very easy to get them mixed up because
it's two different bands.
Trying to get it mixed.
Yeah, but they're both boy bands, and it's like
there was a lot of boy bands at the time.
But those were the two most popular.
Oh, two most popular ones, but like, they weren't the only ones.
Yeah, there's like 98 degrees and whatever.
Yeah.
But
Hanson.
Handsome.
yeah, but fuck
Yeah,
that.
they've made a they recently got back came
Yeah,
back.
bop bop bop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I really like this movie. I thought it was just fun. It was just I think that's all it was. It was just to be entertained, and that's it. So
Hmm.
All right, cool. This movie was it was fun. It was fun, but I didn't think it was great.
Yeah, I can.
yeah,
Even rewatching it now, I agree with Rob. It's the story is kind of weak to be honest.
Mhm.
it's kind of all over the place, to be honest.
And
Right.
when
Yeah.
when you get to the end, when they both like are trying to stop that machine from destroying the universe, I'm like, that I was like, I seen that in other Marvel movie, in other MCU movies.
That's what I was saying. That
I was like, that's so like really? That's how you end the movie? Like it's just the basic MCU kind of stopping the world from a universe from ending. I was like, they did that in Guardians. Like, I honestly thought Guardians won.
Yeah, when they're all holding hands and
Yeah, it's
shit.
like it's the
right,
same
different
thing.
way,
Yeah,
but
Yeah,
that was done better.
Mm.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only big difference is like, okay, this is rated R, and it was Wolverine in there.
The song they used was funny for that scene.
Was that the Madonna one?
Madonna one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. They kept using that in the
Oh no, that
marketing.
was when they're
like a prayer.
about to fight the Deadpools.
Yeah, it's like a prayer. That's
Yeah.
what-
You're right about that.
Mm.
But and to be honest, I didn't. It was a funny movie, but I didn't think it was as funny as the first two.
I agree. Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, the jokes weren't. Yeah, because
Not all the jokes landed.
well, it's because like
Like
Wolverine didn't really have a sense of humor. Almost, it's like he'd just be like, "Fuck off."
Here's the thing.
At this, at that.
I like their back and forth together, but it
Mhm.
did come off as repetitive. It's really just like Deadpool says something funny, Wolverine tells him to shut the fuck up. It's like that's the majority of the back and forth.
Yes.
And
I
like-
love when he was doing the Spider-Man thing in the car when he's like, "Psst, psst, psst,"
Yeah,
and he's
annoying
like,
on purpose.
"Stop it!" He's like, "Stop it!" He's like,
I like that car.
Oh yeah.
That car fight scene was. I thought it was a more fun fight scene than the one in the void.
That's probably one of the more creative fights.
Yeah, because I thought I was like, okay, that's kind of creative. Like they're making them a little more small scale and a
Well,
little claustrophobic.
I'm glad they made it bloody too, because it's like Wolverine when he digs it's like devastating when he digs his claws into him.
Yeah. And then when it gets
Oh,
they're fighting for hours and hours, still
Yeah.
fighting, and they just get tired. It's like, yeah, like that. I like that. Like that was clever, and that was a little more unique fight
Yeah.
scene. And I feel like the final fight should have really been in the void when you have all the characters all together and they're fighting each other.
Yeah,
That should have been, to me, that should have been the grand finale of the fight of the film.
Mhm.
It would have been more satisfying.
Not that thing where they're at that machine.
No, yeah, that felt underwhelming. It's like, okay, and I know you guys like the Deadpool, the Deadpool variants. Like,
That was fun.
I honestly felt that just like they could have been cut out of the movie. To be honest,
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
it's just like, whatever. And like, yeah, I know you have that scene, that part where you put the mask on. It's like, well, you could have had that in the void.
Well, and the
scene.
thing is too, like when it's all over and done, like the Deadpools didn't even die, so
No,
it kind of makes it underwhelming to
that's
where
what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean.
when he puts the mask on, it's like, okay, you put the mask on and then you tried to kill them all, but they're not dead. So
I know that's what it's like. Okay,
And that's what-
I would have preferred if he put the mask on during the cameo fights.
yes.
Like when he walks out of the car, when Blade and all of them are standing there, and then he walks out, it would have been cool if he had his mask on.
That would have been more
Yeah, out
sense.
of the trunk.
To
Yeah.
me, that would
Yeah.
have more sense to have him there.
Yeah.
But whatever.
And at the end of all the where it's all the Deadpools, that fight.
To me, the best part about the whole the Deadpool variants scene was when Nice Pool was the only
Yeah,
one.
when he's getting shot, yeah.
He's the only thing generating. He died.
Yeah.
Yeah, How long does it take you to regenerate?
Regenerate.
He's like, I don't think it's working. I don't think it's working.
One of the greatest lines in the movie.
He's like, how am I supposed to know he didn't?
You really are God's perfect idiot, aren't you?
Yeah.
Was it really?
How dare you.
Was it really the? Was that Ryan's wife who was?
Yeah, Blake Lively. Yeah, she was.
That
the-
was
Yeah,
her.
Blake. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The voice.
yeah, that was her voice. Yeah,
Yeah.
Not in the suit.
yeah. Because I thought it's funny he keeps making fun of Green Lantern, but that's when he met her.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
funny.
because she was the love interest. In Green
Yeah,
Lantern.
they met her. He met her. They got married and they have
What
kids
was the
together.
character's
It's
name?
like
What was it? Carol.
that's like it's weird. It's like making it's like a husband making fun of him and his wife's first date or something. I don't know.
I loved her in The Shallows.
She was good in that one too.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed pretty much.
Oh, and I
everything
also really
Blake
enjoyed
Lively
her
has
in A Simple Favor as
Simple
well.
Favor was a good one too.
I enjoyed it pretty much anything Blake Lively has been in. Probably more so than
You mean Green Lantern?
well, she was fine in that too, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, what's the other? Amber. I like her more than Amber Heard.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Besides
And
that,
you guys ever see A Simple Favor?
Yeah. I saw it.
yes,
It's a
yeah.
good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I think I was saying Amber Heard. Besides that whole political thing, but
It's not really political.
I never really liked any.
It's more domestic.
I wasn't really that big a fan.
Domestic
of her
disturbance.
anyway.
She likes to poop on people.
Yeah.
It's good to poop on.
Oh, she was that whole court case.
Yeah. It's like
She poopy.
yeah.
I was never really a big fan of seeing her anyway.
Okay. So, but
Go on, good. Sorry.
yeah. But like Hugh Jackman, I've said this before. No matter how weak some of these movies got, he was always good in them. He's still good in this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like he didn't miss a beat.
No,
25 years this next year.
Yeah.
that's
Wow.
crazy.
Well, Deadpool said like he's going to be Wolverine till he's 90.
Yeah,
We'll see how true that is.
that's true.
We'll see how true that is. But the cameos, okay, since like the only big one that was actually officially announced was Jennifer Garner as Electra. I was like, okay, I knew she was gonna
didn't
show
pay
up.
attention.
Yeah, like I knew she was gonna show up. All the other ones were like kind of rumors or kind of like, oh, this person might show up. This one. So when I saw Blade show up, that was my biggest cheer, was him. Because
Yeah, me
it
too.
was cool to see him again. And second, I didn't think he was gonna show up because like I always fed into that rumor that he hated Ryan Reynolds. And it's funny that he made that joke in the movie. He was like I don't. When Blade said I don't like you, he never did.
Yeah.
That was funny. Yeah,
I don't like you. You never did.
yeah. Because it's funny because like they had a similar joke in Blade Trinity when he tells Jessica Biel like he doesn't like me, does he? Nah, he doesn't. Yeah. But like well the thing is like Wesley, he said like he didn't hesitate coming back when Ryan Reynolds asked him to be in the movie. He's like, oh yeah, sure. There was no like patching
That's
things
why.
up. There was no like hesitation. There was like okay, he just accepted it.
Right.
So I guess it's true what Rob said. Like there actually was no beef with them 20 years ago.
That's what Wesley said. He said it wasn't. You said it wasn't really true. He said it was just like they
It was
didn't.
more about David Goyer being the wrong director.
Right. He just didn't. Just Wesley Snipes was just like in the he was going through a rough time making that movie.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
he's
And
the only one that didn't want to be there.
Well, you could definitely tell it.
Right. Yeah. That's why I mentioned that joke in the movie where he used to say, "I don't like you," and you never did. I'm the only one in the theater that laughed at that because I don't think people got the inside joke.
Oh, I
Yeah.
laughed at it. I
It's a deep-
understood it. Yeah.
behind the scenes thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and like yeah, and Channing Tatum like as Gambit was funny too. So, it's good. It was cool to see X-23 Laura.
Yes.
Yeah, from
Back in
Logan.
there.
Yeah,
I kind of felt she was underutilized though.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you do see her at the end, with all of them together.
Yeah.
And I felt like, oh well, this is the Logan but happy ending where they stay together. He's gonna help. They're gonna be a team, I guess.
She had the same kind of visceral nature to her.
Yeah.
Yes, when she'd yell, she kind of sounded just like she did.
But she had the her little like pink shades or purple shades or whatever from Logan. I guess that's her costume. I will say, I was disappointed that Electra didn't show up with the Evanescence song playing.
Yeah.
Oh, you bring me to life.
Yeah, that totally expected that to happen. That was gonna be your intro. No, okay, because they had to bring in Blade and Gambit and X-23 right after, like back to back. Yeah, and I wish. I mean, you guys mentioned like they tried to get other people in there and they couldn't. Like I honestly wish they mentioned the Punisher. I wish it would have been the Thomas Jane one.
Oh God, that I would have pissed my.
Could you
pants.
imagine that?
I would have cheered even louder.
Well, you know what?
Which Punisher?
The Thomas Jane one. Oh, I know they said.
But not Dolph Lundgren. People probably wouldn't get that.
No.
You know, there's a rumor they're talking about Secret Wars,
and then Ray Stevenson passed away not too long ago. So
they're talking about Secret Wars. They're talking like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
We'll see.
They're talking about Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider, all the older ones coming back for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be great.
That'll be
we'll see.
Packed.
Yeah. Well, it's Secret Wars, so that's a huge comic story.
I want to see the 8-armed Spider-Man.
8-armed.
The 8-armed Spider-Man.
Yeah, that'll be funny. Because ever since I saw in the animated series, I freaked me out. But that's cool.
Yeah.
That's what David Cronenberg would have directed Spider-Man. He would have done the 8-armed Spider-Man. Would nasty.
It would be similar to The Fly.
Yeah. Oh my god. David Cronenberg's comic book movie. I will pay to see that. But yeah, and back to Deadpool Wolverine. Yeah, and this is another negative. I didn't care for the villains in the movie. Again, it's like Cassandra Nova. Yeah. Other than like that moment when she puts the fingers in people's brains, like that was cool. Other than that, I didn't really care for her.
Other than that, she could have been completely
the TVA stuff. Like whatever.
Right, those could have been completely written out. But
and again, no one's gonna know. No one's gonna know what that is if you haven't seen Loki.
Exactly.
Like no one's gonna know what the hell the TVA are.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But
because the other Marvel movies haven't really explored that too much.
No. This is kind of the first one.
Yeah.
Wait, no, they haven't, have they?
No.
Not even Ant-Man and Quantumania or whatever. They didn't explore that either. Not really. But overall, I think this was a fun movie, but it's definitely way more flawed than the first two.
Yeah.
And most of the cameos were funny. Like the Wolverine montage was funny. Yeah. And I just wish the fight when they're all together and the Void would have been the final fight. And I don't know, man. The way Sean Levy directs some of the action scenes, I feel underwhelming. Underwhelming compared to
they're like quick cuts.
Yeah, compared to Deadpool's action scenes, they were so much better.
You know what it reminded me of?
What?
You know what it reminded? I hate to say this, but it reminded me of the action scenes in Taken 3.
Yes, they were a little too shaky.
How fucking bad that movie? You know, how
it wasn't as bad as that. No, it wasn't as bad as that.
But how many cuts does it take for Liam Neeson to jump the fence for fucking
50?
I'm glad I never saw Taken 2 or 3.
Taken 2 is not too bad.
They're bad.
Taken 3 sucks ass. I'm sorry.
They're bad.
Yeah.
The first one and
The first one's great, but the second one can be enjoyed if you're in a good mood, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's my thoughts on Deadpool Wolverine. It's a fun movie, but I don't think it's great, and I don't think I don't agree with you guys. I don't think it's the best movie, one of the best movies of the year.
I think it's one of the best, not the best.
This is not gonna be in my top 5. I'll tell you that.
Probably not even top 10.
Depends what else I see this year. It really just depends. It's not top 5.
I haven't seen a lot. I definitely haven't seen a lot of it.
You got 2 months. You got 2 months to catch up.
I barely have seen anything this year because of how expensive it can be.
Go to Netflix. Go to Peacock. Go to.
Well, I mean at theaters.
Oh, theaters. Well, there's not much. There's not gonna be that much coming out. There's gonna be any worth watching, really.
No, I mean over time the prices have been going up.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
You gotta find cheap theaters.
Not my theater. My theater's still $5.
Woo! Rusty popcorn, baby. Rusty popcorn.
The one your dad likes going to with the bad popcorn thing.
Oh, what a catch!
Yeah.
Sticky floors.
I tell you what. There's like I've been to some theaters that have those really nice reclining. Yeah, Alex, you went with me that time.
Yeah,
with the nice reclining seats.
Yeah, the
Hey,
AMC
Rob,
theater, right?
The one theater that's like $5 for you. Is that the one with the sticky floors and all that?
Yeah, but there's
have
have you ever been to the ones that have like the trays that come out?
Yeah, that's like Over here we call that the movie tavern.
When we went to go see Halloween Ends, right?
Yeah. Those are really nice, but they're expensive though. I mean,
yeah, I haven't gone there in a while.
Yeah.
Then there's I think the last thing I did where I had like a tray and all that stuff was probably, I want to say it might have been the Shallows, probably.
Yeah. Oh, here you go. Speaking of
I don't know. I just rather watch it at home. I guess I don't know.
If you want a tray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trays. Okay. So, any other thoughts on Deadpool Wolverine?
I enjoyed it, but it's
I mean, it was enjoyable for what it was. So
it's my least favorite of the 3, but I still enjoy all 3 of them.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Stats, Thomas.
So Deadpool Wolverine cost $200 million, and it made $1.338 billion.
Good.
And they knew it would too.
Exactly.
Well, now that's the record. No, that's the record for R-rated.
I think Inside Out 2 still is the highest.
No, for R-rated movie.
It's all about marketing. They marketed this as with Hugh Jackman coming back after so many years. It's like, come on. He knew it would be.
But when it comes to like multiverse type of superhero movie that's come out in the last 5 years, this is not the best one, man. But it's not the worst either. You know, I prefer this way more than Doctor Strange 2 and The Flash. So
easily,
yeah.
So
Doctor Strange 2 was pretty good though.
So it grows. What did you say? 1.3 what billion?
About $1.338 billion.
Actually, the cameos here were better than the ones in Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
With that one,
that's what I mean. That's better than.
It would have been cool to see Professor X though in the gold chair.
In this one and die again.
Yeah, well, not do that, but
no, not again. Poor Professor Stewart, leave him alone.
No, God, quit killing him off.
I know that's 3 times. 3 times.
Like Optimus Prime.
And no, never mind. Yeah. So Joker had the record for R-rated, highest grossing R-rated movie. It was the only one to it. It was the only R-rated movie to gross $1 billion, but now this is the second one, and they passed it too. So
then Deadpool Wolverine overtook that.
Yeah. So now that
I have to say, IMDb.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Has a 7.8 on IMDb, and the Rotten Tomatoes score 78% critics, 94% audience.
Golly. Yeah.
Okay.
So wait, what was the Rotten Tomatoes one?
78% critics and 94% audience.
So there you go. Audience loved it for the cameos and Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, pretty much.
So if they do, here's the thing. Here's what I would like to see. It's like I wouldn't be excited for a Deadpool 4, to be honest. Just put him as a side character in whatever movie you're gonna put him in,
Or
and
you
see
wouldn't
how
want
that
a
works.
You wouldn't want a Deadpool 4?
I wouldn't be excited for it.
Oh, excited.
I wouldn't be excited for it, especially if Sean Levy comes back to direct.
Now, how
Even if
David
he did.
have David Leitch?
Yeah, I would be excited. Okay, the action would be better, but I don't know. And yeah, and don't do a multiverse anymore. I don't know. We'll see. I'll find a better story. Right.
Yeah,
Well,
so
when Rob comes back, we'll start doing the rankings.
I saw you do that where you put all the 4 squares there.
I can do other things. I can do it like
in
this.
a way. That's
Like
right. What is he
this.
doing with the poster?
This. Oh, this is different. Or just me.
No, I mean you had show the poster, then the 4 squares.
Yeah, I know. That's when you share a screen.
Then show
I
the
share
poster.
what's on my screen to you guys.
Oh! I
Yeah,
understand.
because
That's
he's
what I mean.
hosting the show. So
Yeah.
whoever
No,
the host is,
I
they
understand
have
that. I was just funny seeing the poster again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, because weren't done. He didn't finish all the stats. That's why.
No, you did, didn't you?
No. Well, I thought he did, and then he hadn't said the IMDb Rotten Tomato stuff when I originally took it off. Oh yeah, when Rob comes back, we'll do the rankings and we'll wrap up the stream.
That's
I was
gonna
saying
be
there
fun.
was 14 movies total, right?
Yeah. Oh,
14 movies. Yeah.
golly.
All right, Rob, we're gonna do the rankings.
Well,
Yeah,
wait a
ranking.
minute. I actually have to go. So, do you want to do a ranking at maybe on another stream?
Oh, so you want to do that instead?
Well, I mean, if that's okay, because
I do have to go kind of soonish too. But to be honest,
Well, I
I
have
think
to go
that'd be-
because they're wanting dinner, and I didn't realize at what time it was.
okay, yes,
After
past
4.
4:00. Yeah, because since it's 14 movies, it might take a bit.
All right. Well, let's just do. If that's okay with everybody, let's just.
I don't mind because
Yeah, I don't mind either.
When we did the Halloween ranking, that took a whole stream itself.
Yeah, it did.
This
Yeah.
probably would-
So,
this
yeah,
probably
I
would
mean-
too.
I just didn't realize what time it was. I thought we could get through them quick, but I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Well, then again, though, if we have a lot to talk about and we're joking around and all that stuff, it's actually a lot more fun because then you don't realize like when the time's going by. And
I know. Yeah.
Right.
That's fine. It's fine. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
hmm
Because
Yeah.
I mean, there's 14 movies that probably.
I
would
got
take
my
a whole
list, so I'm
stream.
good.
It would
Yeah, I
take
got
a
my
whole
ranking
stream.
already too.
I might
so
change it.
got
I
it
might
today.
change it now.
It probably would take a whole stream itself to
You might take
go through all that.
True.
Okay. All right. Well, next weekend then.
Okay.
And then we can move on.
fine,
yeah.
From next one.
That's fine. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. All right then. Yeah, that is it for us then. Hope anyone who was watching, not really, or watches later, enjoys our thoughts on the Deadpool movies.
I think it's the first time we've gotten no comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I know.
Forco, where are you? Say it was Forco. Where's Transformers?
I thought,
Where's Chucky
I
Doll?
thought with this one, there probably would have been at least one person.
Chucky Doll. Where's
What
Chucky
was
Doll?
it? Was it Friday the 13th where you all had?
See, when we do horror streams,
When
those
horror
get-
streams get more views, I think.
oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's okay. Yes. Till next week, we'll finish everything off with rankings, and then we
Yeah.
can finally move on from
All
extra.
right.
Okay.
All right. So everybody, take care. Hold on to your butts and eat your cream pies and chimichangas.
Chimichangas.
Already
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, you did it.
The
My teeth
All
are
right.
white.
All right.
cream pie.
Yeah. The cream made it
Just-
white.
And just remember, just because your team didn't win the World Series, there's no reason to block people. Okay. Okay.
Wait, I don't get it.
Who blocked
Wait.
who?
Wink. Okay, I'll explain it when I get off stream.
Okay.
You don't get it. All right. Good night, everybody.
See you later, guys.
I feel retarded. Right?
Peace out.
Don't say that.